Hey, here we are. We're here.
Hello, Patreon members.
Just so everyone knows, that was not us being late. That was StreamYard telling us they had too much traffic and we had to wait.
Yeah.
For whatever
what
reason.
What the heck's going on? Everybody's streaming at 8 p.m. Eastern on a Thursday now?
I guess so.
We made it popular.
That's what happened. Everyone's following the Black Series Cantina train. We're trendsetters. We're influencers.
Oh yeah, we're ahead of the curve, I guess.
Yeah.
What's the other, like, if somebody wanted to make a show, what's the best spot they could jump into now? Because Sunday afternoon's taken, Thursday night. I mean, I guess, we only stream to Patreon members on Thursday night, so Thursday nights
that's true.
Kind of open. Yeah. But if a Patreon member wanted to do
Wilbon's got Monday evening.
Yeah, Wilbon's got Monday evenings.
What we need to do is create a network where, like, someone is streaming every night of the week, so you can always have something to watch.
Yeah,
that's right.
I
usually do Saturdays, like Saturday afternoon / evening when I stream, which is usually about once a month.
Mm-hmm. Whenever I went to Vegas last week, and it was awesome. So on my flight there, I paid $18 so I could have Wi-Fi, just so I could watch Wilbon's Monday night stream.
I remember because I was in the chat and you were
in the chat together. Yeah,
and I made some really funny comments.
Yeah, it was a fun time. That definitely made the flight. Anything you can do to make a flight go by fast. Yeah, especially a long flight. It was like 4.5.
By alcohol, by the internet, like what?
Yeah,
you're trapped in a aluminum tube with like 100 other people. It's never gonna be great.
Yeah, but Vegas was crazy. I've never been to Vegas before. That was a
do any money?
Time. So here's what happened. All right.
Yeah,
we did really good Tuesday and Wednesday. I've never been that good at casinos. Like, me and my wife were both killing it. We both had really big hits. We were like, what is going on? Like, we walked into a place, she turned $20 into $200.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I hit for $300 on a machine once. Had a lot of big hits.
Yep.
We were so hot on
you
Tuesday
were
and Wednesday.
I hear the butt coming. I hear that butt coming.
But
yeah.
So we had the stack of cash that we allocated for gambling. Like we took a decent chunk of money. We spent $900. We lost $900 on Thursday because we were like, we were down. We were like 500, and then we were like, we have, what was it? We had like 700 left, and we were like, we might as well we brought this here to spend. We might as well just try to do these like $3-4 hits, try to hit really big, and then it dwindled down, and then we had like, I left $300 in the hotel room just so I knew that we would have like. We were leaving with cash, so we have. Okay. So we didn't spend all of our cash.
Okay. I was thinking like you just left it behind. Like I don't even want this anymore.
No. Like our final hoorah.
Okay.
Like Thursday night in the casino.
All right. Yeah.
I left $300 in the hotel room specifically for
so you couldn't access it basically. Yeah.
So, but we did blow like $900 on Thursday, and it was a great time. Like I was really drunk on Wednesday, which was awesome. We drank a lot on the trip. It was a really good time. I kind of checked out. That's why I have no idea what's going on with the TVC HasLab, because while everybody was talking about it, I was, out doing.
You were having a good time with your wife? Is that right?
Wife in Vegas.
That's
wife
so
in Vegas.
In Vegas?
Yeah. Spending a bunch of money and we did the Sphere. That was
the
really
Sphere.
Cool.
I haven't been to Vegas since the Sphere opened. So
our hotel room had a view of the Sphere, which was really awesome.
Where'd you stay?
The Flamingo.
The Flamingo.
And
it's crazy that the Mirage is closing. Like that's crazy.
Is that a fancy one or something? Or is that
the Mirage is the one with the Mirage is the one with like the fancy fountain and stuff. Like if you watch Ocean's 11 at the end when they all meet together and they got Claire de Lune playing, like that's the Mirage.
But yeah, Vegas was awesome. We did we did Zach Bagans' Haunted Museum just because it's a little different than a casino, or like other stuff out there, like the Sphere. And
catch any shows? Any Cirque du Soleil?
We did Cirque du Soleil Mystere, which was a good time, and then we did Cirque du Soleil Mystere, the Sphere. Those were the only 2 shows. And then, because that was Tuesday and Wednesday, and then Thursday during the day, we did the Haunted Museum, and then just kind of went around the city at nighttime.
Yeah, one of the nice things about Vegas is like you can pretty much walk everywhere, and if you don't want to walk outside, there's a lot of tunnels like underneath that connect all the casinos together, which is like kind of nice. And there's like shopping and stuff, and there's literally alcohol everywhere.
There's alcohol on every corner or everywhere, and then you're allowed to walk around the street with it. Like it feels so weird. It feels so illegal.
It's weird, yeah.
And then you have these.
It's like people. It's like if a mall or like a Dave & Buster's were just a whole city, kind of. I guess like a bar or a whole city.
It's like an adult. Dave & Buster's in a city.
Yeah. The first time I went,
slot machines and.
Yeah, the first time I went, my brother. I was like 23 and my brother was 20 years old and he would turn 21 in like 2 months. And like it sucked because he couldn't do, and he's like, I'm an adult. Like I can vote, I can smoke, but I can't drink legally. And this is stupid for like 2 more months. It was the worst.
Yeah, they didn't. I didn't get carded. Me and my wife didn't. We didn't get carded.
Honestly, he probably wouldn't have either.
Trip. Yeah. Like,
he did get a tattoo while we were there. That was a weird time.
One of those $10 ones? Or
No. We went to like a fancier like ink, because my parents got like a big payout from like a car accident my mom was in, so they took us to Vegas as like a family trip from it, and we all got to do like one cool thing, and my brother's was to get a tattoo at like the place they had a TV show where they did tattoos. And there was like a girl getting her like downstairs area tattooed. And it was weird. Like it's just, I don't know. I'd never been in a room where this girl just spread that I don't know. And like, I can just see everything. And like, she's just getting it tattooed. It was just weird. It was a weird night, honestly.
Yeah. Vegas is a wild place. There's just like mostly naked women just grabbing you while you're walking on the street, trying to get you to pay to take a picture. I'm like, I'm like holding my wife's
I am
shoulders,
literally
like,
with my wife right now. Yeah.
And then those people get trapped, like people who are walking alone. They like trap them into a conversation and force them to like take pictures, and they're like, "Oh, now you got to tip us like $20 or something."
Nope, not gonna happen. Yep.
But like, I mean, I guess if you're with like a bachelor party, like that would be a fun thing to do. But like, I'm with my wife. Don't grab my wrist while I'm. The lady tried to handcuff me. She put a handcuff on my right wrist. I'm holding my other hand was holding my wife's hand. Like, bro, you need to chill out right now.
Yeah.
Like.
And you got the guys slapping the porn, like they can't say anything, but they're trying to get your attention by making the noise. Yeah.
This dude handed me a card. It was a business card, and it was a number for escorts, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like,
nice.
Like I'm with my wife right now. Like,
yeah, but you know what? You and your wife could have a good night. There's no reason not to include her.
Stays in Vegas. I mean, yeah, that's true. That's true. Probably for like $900 an hour or something.
Why not?
Sure. Hey, I spend it on this casino. Might as well.
That's right. You blow it on a casino, blow it on a hooker. I mean, you're creating memories either way.
But man, could you imagine if I would have hit big though when we blew that 900? That would have been sick.
You'd be buying me a 3D printer. Is what you'd be doing.
I honestly would. We got Land Speeder Luke.
What's up, yo? Yep. We also got Wilbon.
Yeah, Wilbon Pletho, another VIP.
And Pletho. Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, so Vegas was cool. I'm ready to talk about Star Wars stuff. Yeah. Real quick before we get going, I did send you the show notes very late.
I just got them and opened them up.
So if you want to do a quick review and add anything, I think I got most things in some type of an order. If you would just want to take a glance and
I have been while you were jabbering on. I was looking at it. I think it's pretty good.
Okay.
I might. You got Tales of the Empire. It's like we didn't talk about Tales of the Empire. It feels like such a long time ago. It feels so long ago, but it was less time because we actually recorded on Friday night, so it was less than 2 weeks. But it feels like it was a month ago since we last recorded. Is that weird?
Stuff that happens like the day or two after we record.
Yeah, it's the worst.
It always feels like it's so long.
Yeah.
Because everybody else has already, like, whenever figures are revealed, like,
about it.
Everybody's already talked about it a couple times by then, and we're like, oh, we gotta wait. But yes, I think I have everything on here.
I'll be damned if I don't give my opinion on Tales of the Empire, though. I'll be damned.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. The mid of the Empire, Tales of the Midpire.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
But yeah, I'm ready to. Look, I'm sorry I was yapping about Vegas. It was my first time there.
No, it was a fun time. It was a fun time. I'm just giving him a hard time legally because I can. Legally.
We were really drunk, and I was looking for a Star Wars bar that I found on Google called something, the Millennium Fandom. Mm-hmm. We walked to the spot, and it was not there. It was literally like a building and then like an open field, and so it must have been like
you have to know it's a speakeasy. You have to know the code to get in.
Yeah, but it was like the building was something else. I have no idea. It probably was. It was probably like an underground bar. But
my wife and I went to a speakeasy when we went to Edinburgh, and that was a fun time. Like to get in, it looked like a barbershop, and you literally pulled like a bookshelf back to get down into the speakeasy, which was neat. Yeah,
that is pretty neat.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, the Millennium Falcon did not pick me up, so I did not make it.
Well, what's even the point then?
Right? You know what? If they don't want me, I don't want them.
Right.
But anyways, all right, I'm ready to get the show on.
Let's start the show. We are post episode 70 now. We're post May the 4th. We have nothing to look forward to for a whole other year, Zach. Welcome. You're listening to Black Series Cantina episode 71. There's going to be some kind of Prequels Beat related title when I figure out a good one. I think Pletho gave us a good one with Prequels Beat and Greet, and I like it. So
I like
as always, I'm Mike. I am joined by my co-host Zach. And we're joined by our our Patreon people that are really cool people. If you want to join us, you can join us live when we record these, but you're probably not. You're probably listening to this, and that's okay too. As long as you hear our voices, it's fine.
Yes, if you are in a position to financially support us, obviously we would greatly appreciate that. There are some perks that come along with being a Patreon member.
No complaints.
Yeah, there are some perks with being a Patreon member, and that is you get access to view us while we record, and you get access to view the slideshow while we talk about what is on said slideshow. I bust my ass to make these slideshows.
You did. Last minute.
They
definitely weren't doing it.
They're very time consuming the way I do them. They got to be perfect.
You gotta get the right picture. You gotta find just the right image that conveys.
Yeah, and I had a hard time with one, and I'll explain that later.
Sure you did. But, I'm sure you did.
Also, you can join us live for our third tier. We have people in the live chat. If you want to transition from listening to us on the go through your headphones to joining us live, you can join the Patreon, or these usually don't last long. We have a VIP spot opened up, and our next VIP chat is going to be Saturday night. So if you want to hop in, I suggest you join the VIP. We have one open, and they usually go quick. So we'll see how long this one lasts. VIP chat.
Last one didn't last at all.
So
I think last one didn't even last the episode we were recording in, honestly.
Yeah.
Probably think it did. Yeah.
Probably not. Yeah, I think, yeah, you're right. Because I remember we had one person upgrade, and then we had another person upgrade mid-show from the live tier to the VIP tier. So if you want to jump up to the VIP tier, Wilbon confirms that he's our Black Series Cantina intern.
That's true. He's the official intern. We gave him StreamYard powers, and he edits our wiki to keep the lore. He's the lore keeper.
Also, since he is our deluxe VIP member, and honestly, not even because he's our deluxe VIP member, if he wasn't even a Patreon member, I'd still do the shout out. Wilbon's been listening to us for a long time. He first discovered us on a TikTok live. He discovered my social media, and then he discovered the podcast, and then he discovered, I guess, all the others, like Out of the Basement and all that. But Wilbon has become like a core piece of the Black Series Cantina community. So if you're listening to this and you always hear us talk about Wilbon and you want to know who Wilbon is, on Monday nights, Wilbon streams. It's called Monday Night Figure Ball. Whenever NFL season's around, he'll talk about some sports, but mostly talk about Black Series and toys and other Star Wars topics. So if that's your thing and you want to watch something on Monday nights, go check out. Is it Wilbon Black Series on YouTube, or is it just Wilbon? He'll let us know in the chat.
It's Wilbon Black Series.
I think it's Wilbon Black Series on YouTube. So yeah, just search Monday Night Figure Ball. That's what he's saying in the chat, and you'll find it. Go subscribe there. I've been on there once. I actually ran the show one time because his Wi-Fi went out. What? So I was just kind of on there solo for a little bit, which was funny. But I've been on there once. I'm sure I'll be on there at some point. But
I've never been.
Go sub.
I'm just saying. I've never been on there.
He probably doesn't want to bother you. You're very.
I honestly, I don't want to bother me either. I'm a very busy guy.
Yeah, you're a very busy guy. You do get.
I know, and I always yell at me for bothering me.
Yeah. So, all right. Moving on. That's enough Patreon plug. If you want to support us, we appreciate it. But if you can't support us, leave a like on social media, leave a review on the podcast. That greatly helps us out as well. But now,
can we talk about real stuff now?
Yes, let's jump into real stuff. So we're going to jump into fine additions.
Fine addition to my collection.
That's right. We're bringing back sound effects, everyone.
Bringing back sound effects. So
bringing them back.
A quick Black Series Cantina Easter egg. We haven't done that since episode 1, and Mike added it in post.
That's right.
And then I think whenever he was editing episode 2, he was probably like, I'm not doing this every time. That was an episode 1 thing. But now we can do it on StreamYard. You just play the video. It's so easy. Now that I discovered that's a thing.
Are you plugging StreamYard?
Yes. Yeah. We're going to do it. We're going to do some more fun stuff like
this that. This episode brought to you by StreamYard. We sold out, everybody. We did it.
Sold out.
Finally, no. We sold out. We didn't. We did
sold
not.
Out.
We did not.
I would, though. I'm the guy.
Oh, in a heartbeat.
Yeah. I'd sell out. We'll never play ads, but if somebody wants to be a sponsor and have us talk about them for a second, I feel like that's okay.
Isn't that what an ad is? Isn't that?
No. I mean, so there's a difference.
Isn't the same thing? No.
All right.
Well, how was it different? How was it different from like, hey, I just want you to know that we're brought to you by BetterHelp. BetterHelp is there to be friends with you if you're ever feeling bad about yourself. Isn't that the same thing? They're giving us money to talk about them.
We would only accept sponsors if we agree with what that company is doing, or we like their product, or we use their website or something. It's not going to be any like random, and it's us talking about it. It's not going to be those.
No,
It would.
they're going to make us. They're going to make us read ads. That's not how it works. You can't just do that. That's never how it works. That's why we're not going to do it. I'm just telling you.
Well, we're
not sponsored by BetterHelp. Screw BetterHelp. Don't do BetterHelp. I'm just saying. No, actually, if you need mental stuff, you should probably do BetterHelp. I'm a big proponent for mental health, but
do something. Yeah. My wife is literally a therapist. I have to plug.
Yeah.
I have to plug getting
therapy in general. Go to a therapist. Trust me, you need it. I don't know you, but you need it.
If you spend too much money on toys,
you need it.
You probably need help.
You probably need therapy. I did.
Speaking of spending too much money on toys, Mike, you want to jump into Fine Edition?
Yeah. I got two things, and this will go pretty quick. I got this cute little box, this cute little guy right here. This is the Phase 2 Clone Trooper and Battle Droid Army Builder pack they did.
You got a couple vintage collection figures there?
Honestly, it's the box. It was weirdly so small. I have done, if you want to see me unbox this, I have done a video on this. In fact, since our last recording, I've done like 5 videos. I'm back, baby. It's crazy.
I'm proud of you, Mike.
Thank you. And I've posted a lot of those
on the front page of YouTube a little more often.
Yeah, and I've posted a lot of those to TikTok if you want to. I shorten them down for like little TikToks. But anyway, yes, I like this little 2-pack. I do think it's like $5 too much. I think if you buy it from Shop Disney, it's $39.99. I think that's the perfect price for this because it's meant to be a troop builder. It's meant to be a little bit like less expensive to build out, and they save the money by putting it in this weird little box that's definitely not anything like any other Black Series box we've ever had. But it was $45, which still I don't think is bad. It's still less than buying the 2 figures, but that's also how much like any other 2-pack they've been doing recently has been. So I feel like this should have been just a little bit cheaper since they are saving money with no plastic and all that stuff. But if you're looking for that 3.0 mold and you want some more battle droids and you don't care there's not really any paint on the battle droid other than some silver, it's a good buy. It's a good box. Does
that include the classic plastic free packaging with the unrolling paper?
Yes, it's
nice.
The exact same as the plastic free packaging of yore. In fact, I talked about that in the video where I was unrolling it. I'm like, honestly, I kind of missed this already. And someone commented in the comments is like, I miss plastic free packaging, said one collector. And I was like, yeah, there's dozens of us.
Yeah, if you listen to I think most Black Series content creators, or at least the ones that I pay attention to, miss plastic free packaging because it was so convenient. And you did an unboxing video already, and it looks like you haven't because you can just show it's so convenient.
Correct. You have no idea there's nothing in here. It's empty, but I can just post it up and you're like, hey, look. Although I will say, in my videos, now they have the open window. It's fun to do the little transition where I make it look like I'm popping them out of the box, where they just kind of fall out with a jump cut, and I think that's fun to do. I don't know how I'm going to do that with this one though. I'm going to be recording a review for this very soon, probably tomorrow or like Saturday or Sunday. But I did get the 3-pack from Amazon, the Jedi Fallen Order 3-pack that has the second sister, the Inquisitor Cal Kestis, and then of course the Hammer Time Purge Trooper in there. So
that's a sick fit.
Yeah, we've known about this for a while. It was a weird. It just kind of popped up out of nowhere, and then it was like, hey, it's gonna come out, and then suddenly it came out like even earlier. So it showed up on my doorstep on Tuesday. It came in like one of those special like Hasbro boxes. Like it wasn't an Amazon box. It was like the Hasbro shipper box. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's like what
nice.
Amazon receives, and they're like, we're not even going to open the packet, just ship it right out.
That's all they do. They slap a shipping label on it and put it back in the mail. And next thing you know, I've got it. Yeah. So I'm gonna review that next. I'm mostly like I'm not gonna do a review. Like I mostly do a comparison so that I can compare, what you're getting out of this versus what came before.
Because it's mostly
nothing
just
in here,
reuse.
nothing in here is new. Yeah, same. So, that's gonna be probably next video. What you got?
I'll jump in. I got a couple good things here. None of it's open because obviously I was on vacation last week, and then I got a little sick, so I haven't been in the mood to open anything. I did get a late birthday gift from my sister and brother-in-law. I got this model kit Mandalorian thing from Hobby Lobby, so that'll be cool to build. I've never done a model kit or anything, so looking.
I've got some model kits. We should do like a live stream model kit build.
I'm down for that. You could probably give me some pointers because I have no idea what to expect when I open it.
It's all snap fit. It's pretty easy.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
I did get a couple Black Series figures. I got this Grand Moff Tarkin Archive, which I'm not really sure why I bought it. I just made a Walmart order and it was $8, and I was like, why not? You never know weird. with 3D printing. Like I might need another one, and then because I was kind of thinking.
It's a hoarder mentality. What if I need it? But what if I need it?
Look. It's $8, and look, it could do a giveaway. I know everybody probably.
True. No, you're right.
Figure.
It's always good to buy cheap stuff for giveaways.
But look, we have this Lane Speeder Luke, Darth Vader holotom table. So worst case scenario, I need an extra body for a head swap to have Imperial officers surrounding it. Pay attention to hologram Vader.
That's a great. Honestly, I might do
$8 head swap.
So I can pop a little mic on one of those bodies, so I can be an Imperial if I want to be.
Yeah, there you go. It's $8. What do you have to lose? And then I noticed Cassian Andor Aldani mission was $5, so I just tagged that onto my Walmart order.
They're basically paying you to buy it.
Exactly. What a steal.
That's actually a really good figure. And I feel like
it's probably underrated. I think
it's underrated for sure. It's underrated for sure.
I mean, $5. How can you pass up a $5? No matter what it is.
I mean, that's how much footlongs used to cost at Subway. Do they still cost $5? I don't know.
Oh probably Lord, not. No, they're like $14.99 now.
Remember, it was a whole big thing. $5 footlong. It was like a big thing.
It was like their thing.
Yeah.
And inflation killed that. Honestly, was that even? I feel like I've gone to Subway before to get a $5 footlong, and they charged me like $9.
That's ridiculous.
But maybe I didn't get the right. I've never been good at ordering stuff like that.
I don't know how to order sandwiches. They're so confusing.
Some menus are just confusing. Maybe I'm not the brightest.
Do you know how to read? Are you illiterate? Is this one of those things where you've been skating through life illiterate, but you're really good at faking that you know how to read?
I think so. It honestly probably is. I've never been that much of a reader. I can do, like numbers better. I can read. I can read fine. But it's willingly reading something.
You can't make me read this.
Like when I get a paragraph text, it's like the worst,
Oh, so that's why I split them all up like one sentence each. So it's easier for you to process.
Yeah, that's why anytime I get like, say a 3D printer, or if I get something that I have to build, I would much rather do a YouTube watch along than read the instruction book. Like I think
that's true for most people, honestly. Yeah, no, I'm like that too.
Maybe that's just
someone.
Yeah.
Well, I'm more of a visual learner anyway. Like I want to follow along with, like, if I'm cooking, I'd rather watch a video of how to make it. Because like I remember the first time I started cooking, like, when you get those boxes, like the weekly boxes or whatever, it was like core the pepper, and I'm like, what does that mean? How do you core a pepper? It's just, or it reminds me of that did you ever see Schitt's Creek, where it's like fold the cheese, like what? How do you fold cheese?
It's like vertical, horizontal, like
exactly,
tip to tip. Like how do you do that?
How do you do that? Yeah,
I'm much more of a visual learner myself. Sure. I had to watch somebody do it, and then
you can do it. Yeah.
But back to Fine Editions, the next figure I picked up, I finally got convinced because everybody was getting it and it looked so good and I never pre-ordered it, but it was sitting there in stock when I was making my Walmart order. R46DO. This is the Grief Karga droid on that new body.
He's a good little droid.
He's a sick little droid. Like the colors are going to pop off the shelf. I'm kind of, you know, I'm glad I picked him up. Fully worth the retail price. Definitely a solid pickup.
Do you have a Grief Karga to go with it?
I have the season 1. I've never picked up the other one. See, I was going to get the other one and then the season 2 version, but then he died and everybody was getting him. So I didn't want to buy him then to make it look like I just bought it because
you were just buying him because he died. Yeah.
So I'm going to wait a little bit. So, you know, I think he's back down to like $12 on Amazon. So I might scoop him soon. Next time I do an Amazon order. But yeah, I didn't want to buy him during the rush because then it looks like I'm just the douche trying to cash out on his debts. So got to hold off a little bit. And then one more Black Series figure. I picked up the most recent Phase 1 Clone Trooper on the brand new clone body, which is very cool. Some paint missing, like on the chin, but very good troop building Black Series figure. I only grabbed one of these. I think the 2020 body version is still solid enough, so I'm only going to have 2 Phase 1 clones on the shelf that are plain. You know, I don't feel the need to army build this one because I much prefer the Phase 2 look. That's just my opinion. I do love the Phase 1 look. But in the movies, like they really only existed for like 10 seconds.
I may accidentally have 3 coming.
3? That's solid. Yeah. That's an odd number though, and I don't like
know.
It, but
well, it wasn't on purpose. It just kind of happened.
Did you like forget to cancel a pre-order?
Well, no, but like I ordered 2 because that's how many I wanted. And then Toy Snowman was like, "Hey, I'm sending you Kiadi Mundi in one of these," and I was like, "All right."
Oh, sick.
So,
and then I have
3 coming.
One more Fine Edition, which I already showed you. My complaining.
I guess I'll just go away then.
Yeah. My complaining is over. I finally received the Hot Toys Battle Damaged Darth Vader. And this thing is massive. Just the box alone. Like, look, this is my upper body here. This is an absolute massive piece. I have not.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's had this for like a month now, and he just refuses to open it up.
Listen. This arrived literally 1 hour before we got picked up to go to the airport for Vegas. 1 hour.
Vegas, yeah.
So
how long ago was that? Though? It was last week.
That was last week,
Monday. Right? It was last Monday.
The 6th. We flew away on the 6th,
right.
So it was delivered the 6th.
Yeah.
And then we got home, and I got sick. So I was going to open it, but it just seemed really overwhelming while I was sick. So now I'm getting over the sickness. I feel like I'm going to open it maybe this weekend. See, I can't decide if I want to like film it, like do a TikTok.
You don't want to just like slide that box off right now and give me your like initial reaction of just what you see.
I mean,
you don't have to pull anything off. Because like it's pretty well packed with like foam and stuff in there, so it's like a whole thing.
There we go. I'm sliding the top off.
Sliding the top off here. Okay.
There's another
Look
box.
at that. I love that like holographic picture, like the embossed, the shininess.
Yeah,
it's really gorgeous. Cool. It's so gorgeous.
So does this just open up or
it slides up?
Do this?
It slides up.
It's another slide.
Yeah.
See, I don't know what's going on. No, it pulls open on the side.
Oh, it's been so long. No, it does not.
Oh, yeah.
That's not right.
Yes, it is.
No, no.
See the tab right here. Right.
That's not how that works. I'm telling you right now.
It's how that works. I'm looking at it right now. That's how that works. Unless it just slides out from this side. Okay, maybe you're right. All right. There we go.
There you go. I was like, nope. I don't remember doing that.
You were right.
Yeah.
Look, another picture.
Another picture. They really want to stop you from seeing the figure.
All right, I'm going to open this picture now. All right, there's the figure finally. All right, here we go. First look up close. The detail is so insane. Like that is actually crazy. This might be the most realistic thing I've seen in person, like in hand. This is crazy. The smell is like new. It's like a new car almost. With all the nice foam and plastic. This is sick. Yeah, this is crazy. I just want to sit here and play with this now the whole podcast. Look,
All right. Well, thanks for listening to Black Series Cantina, everyone. We're going to be ending it here so Zach can play with his Darth Vader.
I got to go play with the Vader. Look how, maybe I can get this close to the camera for the Patreon viewers. Maybe I can get his face close to it.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. There's a lot of detail.
Crazy.
That one eye moves around so you can like pose it if you want them looking a different way, like a different direction.
Has anybody tested the theory to see if they did what Hasbro did and put a sculpt on the other side of the helmet? Have they ripped their helmet open?
You can kind of see it from the inside. There's not a full head underneath there.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. All right, I'll put the Vader up and we can continue the podcast. How about that?
Thank you. Well, I mean, I wanted you to see it. I wanted you to experience it. But you should definitely do like a full unboxing on TikTok, and so I can watch that there as well.
Yeah, I'll probably do a video, but that's all my fine editions, and very fine editions they were.
They were very fine.
And yeah, you got your Vader like a month ago. Everybody else got theirs so long ago. So now I'm just now finally getting it.
I'm gonna be honest. That was gonna be my last hot toy. Like I don't need another hot toy. I'm good with what I've got after that Vader. But just yesterday they showed off.
They dropped
the Kenobi, Mandalorian Kenobi, the one where he's disguised as a Mandalorian. I'm like, oh my god, I kind of like that. I kind of want that.
It's good. And
I'm not going. I don't think I'm going to. The Sidious looks good too. Yeah, the Sidious looks good too.
The face looks a little off. Like it looks really good, but it doesn't look exactly like the movie, but it's close enough to where, it works. It works.
Yeah.
So, but on our Facebook group, which you can join, Black Series Cantina, and you got to answer a couple questions to join.
But it's free to join, just so you know.
Yeah, it's free to join for sure. It's a good group in there. We had a suggestion from a listener, Edmund Lee. They said maybe we should do a segment called like listener emails. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do some listener emails here. We have 2 of them. So if you want to send us an email to bring up on the show, blackseriescantina@gmail.com. If we get a bunch, we'll probably only select, a couple or the best ones. So if you do want to email us, make them good and they'll make the show.
Yeah, we told them both of our responses were the same. Like, we'd love to read emails if anyone ever sent one. So they did. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very rare that somebody would email us because we only plug it at the end of the show.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not like no one's ever emailed us before, but it's never been like, read this on the air. But yeah, we can do it.
Yeah, blackseriescantina@gmail.com. All right, this one's from Edmund Lee, who actually suggested this segment. He says, "Hello, love your show, guys. I find myself checking every other week for your new episodes. I never joined a Patreon in my life, but knowing how much I love listening to you guys talk about the hobby, I had to join. We greatly appreciate that."
Very.
This is where it gets funny. "I think you guys have great chemistry on the show. Mike has a jolly sense of humor, and Zach, who is funny too, seems a bit on the serious side. Both of you together gel very well. Do I need to lighten up?
Guy. Oh no!
Do I need to lighten up? Do I need to lighten up here?" He goes on to say, "I like when you have guests like out of the basement." No, I messed up. See, I told you I can't read. He says, "I like when you have guests like out of the closet boys," with a laugh.
Out of the closet.
Out of the closet boys and Lane Speeder Luke. And he continues to say, "I just wanted to say thank you for all you do for us Black Series collectors and Star Wars fans. Thank you again, Edmund Eddie Lee." Hey, we appreciate it. And
very much.
Mike is on the jolly. Mike has to provide the jolliness and the joy and the humor. And I got to keep the show going. So we work together very well, in my opinion. I think that's why we're a successful podcast, right?
Yeah, I developed my sense of humor because I'm not very good looking. And it's one of those things, you're either good looking or you're funny. Or you're Ryan Reynolds where you're both, but I don't know. Like, you're not that lucky.
You're handsome to me, all right?
For real?
Of course. And then we have one more listener email. This one is from Graydon Unfried, or Unfried, so I probably butchered his last name.
Hey, if he butchered your last name, it's because he can't read, so don't make fun of him.
Yeah, that's true. He asks, "Do you think the Black Series will ever release a Queen Amidala or just any Padme various Queen outfits or even the decoys? with Phantom Menace 25th, I just can't believe we haven't gotten her. It could have been one of the best costumes in all of Star Wars. Sent from my iPhone, so the little tag on there he didn't delete. To answer your question, I think we'll eventually get the Queen Amidala. I don't know about any of the other decoys. We'll talk about that a little bit later on the segment we're doing. But a Queen Amidala, I feel like is too iconic to never get in the line.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be for this 25th Phantom Menace, but I think we'll get it eventually. Hopefully,
Well, I mean,
hopefully they'll reveal it
technically
next week.
We got one. I mean, the one we got is a Queen Amidala because she was acting as the queen.
Yeah.
You know, but it's not like the royal.
It's not the red.
But here's
dress,
the thing:
like,
there's a
iconic.
lot of times, like in that red dress, that's not actually Queen Amidala. Like you can go through and see when it's
Yeah, that's
when it's.
true.
There's a couple of times where like, oh, I love this Queen Amidala, but like that's not actually Queen Amidala. That is, you know, whenever you see Padme hanging out, the person who's the queen isn't the queen. And then when Padme disappears, it's because she's being the queen. It's fun how actually George Lucas, if you can go back and like it makes sense, but it's very interesting. I do have one more. This is not so much an email as it was a comment someone left on one of my recent videos by Cleary MC. And it says, to me, you're my favorite Cantina host. I hate Zach's take on David Prowse Darth Vader. Anyways, great video as always. I just wanted to read that out on.
I forgot about that one. All right.
I just wanted, yeah.
I have to respond. I have had my moment to respond. Number one, who commented this? What's this listener's name again?
Cleary MC.
Cleary MC. Number one, if you're gonna come at the king, you best not miss, because David Prowse is only the guy in the suit. Sebastian Shaw is the guy in the Force Ghost, because Darth Vader didn't want to use David Prowse's face, and David Prowse was actually pretty upset whenever he learned in A New Hope they weren't using his voice, and when he learned that when they take off the helmet, it wasn't going to be him under there. So you got to get the facts straight first. Secondly, everybody has their own opinion. That's fine. But hate and superiority. I'm standing on the hill, and I'm fighting on the hill, and I'm dying on the hill. Hate and superiority. But hey, you're a listener. We appreciate it. It's all fun. So, but you got to get your facts straight if you're going to make a comment like that.
I honestly, I kind of, as soon as I read "You're my favorite Cantina host," the rest I just blank out. Like I'm reading it, but I'm not processing what I'm actually saying. That's as much as I needed out of the comment, really.
Yeah. It's, you know, it made the show, so it worked.
Oh, for sure.
I'm gonna create a fake comment now that says, Zach, you're actually my favorite host. And
on my video?
Yeah, on your video. And I'm gonna say Mike's actually my least favorite host of the two.
Of the two?
I wish he'd get replaced by Wilbon. That's what I'm gonna put. And then I'm gonna say this totally isn't Zach typing. This is
Checks
an
out.
anonymous listener.
Yeah, absolutely. That it's flawless. Your plan is flawless. No one could see through that.
You'll never suspect it's me.
No.
And by the way, hate and superiority, I agree.
Oh yeah, that's that giveaway. That's that giveaway. No one thinks that but Zach.
So there's our listener emails, blackseriescantina@gmail.com again. But now we can jump into some news. We have a lot to get through.
We have a lot.
Because it was kind of a crazy little...
It was a
couple
busy
weeks
2
here.
weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, like not a lot happened, but a lot happened at the same time. It's kind of one of those...
That's a good way to
one
put
of those
it.
episodes.
Yep.
Like, so I didn't necessarily know where you wanted to start. Do you want to go in order on the show notes? Or?
Yeah, no, I think the show notes is fine. I couldn't tell you when things were done or added because like you, it was kind of a blur. So
yep. So we're gonna start with the TVC HasLab leak. This is kind of a blur for me, so you're gonna have to take the lead on this because I was in Vegas whenever this was leaked.
Sure.
But from what I've seen, it kind of seems a little lackluster right now, anyways, from the start.
So if you're somehow just not paying attention, and to be fair, we are not a TVC podcast. We are very specifically Black Series, but the reason we're talking about the TVC HasLab is that something to the level of a HasLab, having it be successful for TVC will always in some way affect Black Series. And maybe possibly trying another Black Series HasLab in the future, which is what we're all hoping for. So, the failure of this could hurt the Black Series more, or the failure of this could help the Black Series. We're like, well, that didn't work out. Should we try again, or should we try Black Series again? So I don't know which way it could swing, but it definitely will have an effect, in my opinion.
Yeah, that is true, because if they hit another Grand Slam like they did with the Ghost, they could just say, yep, let's just keep cranking out these TVC HasLabs. But if they fail one time, maybe they'll say, oh, we got to go back to Black Series. We got to try one there. But, I hope it succeeds for everybody who wants it.
For sure. I always want people who want something to get it, because you getting it, even though I don't care about it, doesn't take away from me. But we should probably say what it is. It's the Mos Eisley Cantina. Obviously this is not official. This hasn't been officially announced, and it could be wildly different. But from the leaks, and usually they don't get this far without having credibility, and there's pictures, and there's page. Apparently it went live for a hot second.
On Hasbro Pulse, right?
On Hasbro Pulse.
Live.
And it went live the same night they had like another HasLab go live that was $1. It was $1 to back, and I backed 2. I'm like, I don't know what this is, but it's only $1, and they only needed like 10 to fund, like 10 to sell to fund. So I was like, I was like number 25 or something like that. And I was like, I'm backing 2, baby. Like, why not? I think I got up to 500 before they shut it off. And just yesterday, they sent out the email saying they canceled it. It was put up in error, blah, blah, blah. I mean, that was
court. You better take them to small claims court for that one.
I was expecting that the whole time. Like, I knew, like, this isn't a thing. This is an error. It clearly said in the title, like, test something.
But now you can say you backed the $1 test hack.
Exactly. That's a HasLab that went live that I backed. But the Cantina, I'll say, so from what we've seen, there's a couple different sources and stuff. It's going to have something like 8 figures in it, which I think is really what people want out of the Cantina. Like, the Cantina itself is fine, but I really genuinely think that people really want this HasLab for Cantina aliens. And I'm hoping, we don't know what they are or who they are. Like, I'm assuming like Wooher would make sense to have in there,
I found a picture. Here we go.
There you go. So
reference.
There's a $3.99 price point, and then I think is that $4.99? It's kind of blurry, so it's harder to see.
Yeah, it looks like $4.99 from here, which I feel like
there's like a deluxe version and like a regular version, like a base version.
I feel like for a HasLab, in my opinion, I don't know how you feel, but for a HasLab, that seems kind of dumb in my opinion.
This isn't the first time they've done that, though. They did that with the Hero Quest board game HasLab, which is one of the earlier ones they did, and it funded really, really well. They didn't do, what was weird about that one is they didn't do like backer numbers. They did like raw dollar amount, which was weird. So it's hard to say like how many that backed, because they just did like raw money. But I guess you can just take the price of what it was and divide it by how much money it made and get the unit there. But I think what people really want out of this, obviously there's like alcoves, there's the bar, there's the entrance. Those are just the absolute basics. I heard there's going to be lights and sounds and stuff, which is cool. But I think it really is going to come down to, figure selection, if there's going to be any tiers or not. We don't have hardly any information except for this one image. So it's really hard to make any real judgment.
Yeah.
And I will say, and obviously I'm not in on this because that's a lot of money for something that I don't collect. And even though it is the Cantina and we're the Cantina,
we got challenged. Justin challenged us.
We did. I watched the figure it out. But I just don't.
I posted that too. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. But there are so many things. I'd rather spend that money towards a 3D printer, honestly.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm never going to get it. But But I will say when they did the G.I. Joe HasLab for the His tank, it leaked like the day before it went live. And I saw the price point and I saw what it was. I didn't see the actual thing, but I saw, it's a His tank. I know what a His tank looks like. It was $350. And I was chatting with Dan Larson. I'm like, yeah, I'm not in on that. I don't need it. But when I saw the actual like presentation for it, I was like, yeah, I need it. I need it, so there's always that magic. I think Steve Jobs had that like bubble he did whenever he talked about like a new phone or a new iPod. Like it always made it seem cooler than it really was, where it had that magic to it of being shown all the cool things that it is. And that could very well happen here. It could happen where they're talking about all the things and you're like, there's going to be something in there like, okay, I need that. I'm $400 in or I'm $500 in.
I just thought of a counterpoint.
Yeah,
but
go ahead.
Steve Jobs selling something is probably a lot more influential than Chris from the Hasbro.
Oh, no, that's 100% accurate. No, you're not wrong. That was one of the things about Steve Jobs is he just had that whatever showmanship about him that got people to buy stuff they didn't like, MP3 players that were too expensive they didn't need or whatever. And I say that as someone that worked for Apple for like 14 years. So I am not a hater by any means, but yeah, there's definitely something special about him that Chris doesn't have. But Emily might.
That's true. Emily, she's a fan favorite.
Oh, and she's the TVC person. So
yep.
I'm just saying I'm not gonna write anything off as a failure until we see the full reveal. Because right now we don't have all the information.
Just from this picture, it looks like it doesn't seem worth that price tag in my opinion.
Sure, I agree.
The $499 seems high.
Yeah. Well, what didn't Lance Peter Luke say that he could design it that like you go buy a 3D printer and get it cheaper. Like buying the 3D printer would be cheaper than backing this HasLab.
Yeah. And the filament. You just need tan filament.
Yeah. Right.
And a couple paint bottles probably.
Yeah. But there's also, there's if it does have any lights and sounds, that's something you're not going to do. And there is the aspect of like, you don't have to work to get it, like all the work is being done. And there are people that they'll never work to get something. They'll buy something that someone else makes, but they have no interest in actually creating it.
My thing is, whenever I just glance at this looks like it could just be a pack similar to how they did the. I don't know. This is probably bigger. It's
bigger. This is going to be bigger than anything they've done. I'll say that. This will be bigger. Yeah. I'm going to guess this will be bigger than the Job of the Hut.
I was thinking the Jabba's Palace thing. I was like, why can't they just do this like that? And maybe this is bigger. It looks like it has some rooms there and like.
It's not going to be as tall, but the actual footprint I think is going to be a lot bigger. So again, those are just things like we don't really have any context for how big this is. So I'm sure when we get all that information and we watch the little video explaining it all, like we might change our tune or we might just dig deeper into the opinion that we already have. I am already out. I'm never gonna. There's nothing they could say to get me to buy it, and that was true. As soon as they said it was TVC, that was true.
I know we got challenged, but $500 for a vintage collection playset, and I don't
have room for that.
Fill it with figures that I don't care about, and I don't have. Where am I going to put it? On eBay, I guess.
There you go. You put it on eBay. We'll buy one using Patreon funds to flip it so that we can just make more money for the podcast, and then that just goes back into getting me my 3D printer, which is what I'm saving my Patreon funds for right now.
That's winning more Patreon. So
more Patreon. So Mike,
if you want to help Mike
printer
out, and we need a lot of Patreon members because he's saving up for the X1 Carbon, which is like a lot of money. So
I know. I don't know why. I could honestly, I could right now just buy the P1P like you have. I could just do it. Like I have the money between my Patreon, this Patreon, and like YouTube funds. Like I've got the money, but like I just feel like once you go there, what's another step up? And then like once you're there, what's the next step up? I might as well, if I'm going to be making a purchase like this, right? I might as well get something that I think will grow with me and I'll keep longer, which is kind of how I usually see most stuff like this.
I've been kind of looking at that attachment that Luke sent us. That
with the
$350
multicolor thing. Yeah.
I've been looking at that. I've been eyeing that. So I think I might be making a purchase here soon. We'll see. We'll see how that goes.
I mean, the prints that he does without having to like change anything.
I know they're so nice. And I was having an issue with, I'm going to grab it because I'm going to talk about it. So fill time.
All right. Well, the reason I really want the X1 Carbon is because I have cats and it's fully enclosed. And it also has a 1080p camera on it. So my thought was while I'm printing, I could have Twitch going where it's just got my print going and people can watch it if they want to. There are people that watch people asleep playing video games. Like they're not even playing the video game. They're just sitting at their desk asleep. And there's like hundreds of people watching someone not play a video game being asleep. So I figure, what if they could just watch me print something instead? The P1S is enclosed, but it still has the worst camera. And there's another reason why I wasn't going to get the P1S. But mostly it was the camera. I'm like, if I'm doing that, I might as well get the one because you can't upgrade the camera. And I don't want to like buy a camera to set up because it's going to be another room and that's going to be too hard. Anyways, did I fill enough time?
Yes, I am back.
Okay, perfect.
So you see this here. This is, do you recognize this just off the bat? Do you know what this is? I have two of them. I didn't think you would. I was just testing you.
Yeah.
So this is actually the Darth Vader throne side pieces. You know how he has his stairs? Like these are what's on the top of the stairs. So like in my head is where his throne is, and these are on the side. Well, in the show, see where it goes in right here? Kind of looks like a PlayStation 4. It's red in there. So with this, I'm either going to have to very delicately paint or put like a red sticker along like some vinyl and cut it out, which is going to be very meticulous. But I was like, if I just get the attachment, I could just reprint this, make that part red, and then just do the rest in black, and it'd be so much easier.
That's right. If you could just spend an extra $350, you wouldn't have to work a little bit.
Exactly, but that would be for all the prints, and it would be
no, it's true. It's not just for that one; it's for anything going forward, and it's cool. Like Luke printed out like a control panel that had a bunch of different colors on it, and knowing that it printed that way, like there's no paint, it just printed that way.
Yeah, look at this shoddy paint job here that I did on this thing. I could just print this. You see, like I got paint running over here a little bit. I mean, it's not bad, but especially up on the shelf, you won't be able to tell. But I won't even have to spend time doing that if I can just have the multiple red and green and silver, and gray going, or whatever. So
another thing about the X1 is you can print things that aren't just the regular filament. Like you can get some crazy stuff and print it. I don't know off the top of my head, but I went through a deep dive where I was like watching a bunch of YouTube videos, and for like a full week I had nothing but 3D printing suggestions on my YouTube timeline because I watched like 3 videos about like what the best printer was and stuff like that.
Yeah, I want to buy the really expensive rubber filament, and I want you to print me
I could do that. Yeah,
the airless basketball. Have you seen that? The airless.
I have
basketball?
seen that. Yeah,
I kind of want one.
Yeah.
I don't think it fits on my printer, but the P1P. I don't know how big the X1 is.
I think the X1's pretty much the same.
Is it?
Yeah.
It
would be cool,
fit, but it might. I don't know.
If you could take all your like waste, all your like filament waste, and like the stuff you printed that you don't want anymore, and like melt it back down, and then put it like form it back into like the
tube, so
the tube. Like so you could like recycle and reuse it all.
What I saw somebody do is they get like a it's like a rubber mold of a skeleton head. And he puts all of his, like the green, black, all the extra colors of the filament waste, and he puts it in his oven until it's all melted, and then he hardens it, and then he sells that online for like $15. Then it's just like a free.
I mean, that makes sense.
$15 or something.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So, but yeah, leave us a review if you enjoy or dislike when we talk about 3D printing stuff, because I'm sure as Mike gets a 3D printer, we'll probably insert that a little more. So, but if you absolutely hate it, let us know, and maybe we'll.
Well, we're definitely going to have some more people that as guests that are into 3D printing and whatnot. So it's going to be. We got some guests lined up. It's going to be fun. We got some things coming up. Anyways, what else do we got? I think that's enough for the TVC HasLab. Like, it leaked. You either were into it or you weren't. I think a lot of people weren't, but all I'm saying for that is I get it. I'm there, but be prepared to change your mind just in case, because that might be one of the things they're tweaking. And do you think they leaked it purposefully to see what like the general reaction is?
I wouldn't put it past them, but probably not. I wouldn't put it past them though. I feel like Lucasfilm wouldn't want that. I'm not sure.
Lucasfilm doesn't care. That's not a new media thing.
I know, but I know it's
that's
not like
the only time they care about
thing,
that.
but I feel like even with old stuff, Lucasfilm has tight schedule.
No, I don't think Lucasfilm cares about that. I don't think. I think Hasbro would care about it. I don't think Lucasfilm would care about it.
I don't know. I feel like they're all. I don't think they did it on purpose, but I wouldn't put it past them.
It's definitely a plausible theory. I'll say that.
It's definitely it's plausible.
Yeah.
And hopefully for the TVC people, they did do that so they can do a little bit of correcting.
Yeah, I agree, and I think it's a good option.
All right, so next up we have Kitty Monday is finally, he went up for pre-order in between our last podcast.
For most places, the only place he's not up for pre-order on is Hasbro Pulse, which is weird.
It's so weird. And he's starting to ship out. Like, people are starting to get him in hand as we are recording. So,
mine's coming in on, I think, Saturday or Monday, depending on, how fast that ships. What did Lance Peter Luke say in text? It was like 661 days since he'd been pipelined.
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's insane.
That's really
insane.
Crazy.
Yeah. He said that, 661. That was in our chat. That's crazy.
And it's weird. He was one of those figures that they revealed. They're like, oh, we're not going to let you pre-order this one. And now it's even tougher to get because pre-orders keep selling out everywhere. Everybody's looking forward to that figure. So I'm glad maybe that's done with that little strategy they did for a month or two.
It was a bad strategy. Hasbro, I get why you were doing it, but the fact that you stuck to your guns, the fact that Hasbro stuck to their guns for that long instead of just abandoning it, like no one would have noticed a thing if they had just quietly put him up for pre-order. No one would have batted an eye. No one would have said a thing. But the fact that
thank you for allowing us to secure this.
Right. But the fact that he was revealed in February of 2023, like revealed, because he was pipelined like the year before that, but revealed that we saw images of him physically February 2023, and it's now May 2024, and we're just now having people be able to pre-order them and buy him and get him in hand. I think, like I said, it happened exactly like I said it would, where it was a couple small places like Nerdzoic and Toy Snowman, like and CMD Store, where they put them up because as soon as they get an order in and they know it's coming in, they're going to. Like, that's just how they work because they're small stores or whatever. They're going to put them up and then they know they can capitalize on people like freaking out going like, this isn't how you can buy it now. And then it'll follow by the bigger places like Entertainment Earth and Big Bad Toy Store, and they went up basically the same day. Like basically the same day.
They both sold out pretty quickly.
And they sold out, and that's how you know, like this is a character that not only people want, but there's something of like a mystery or a hype surrounding him.
Yeah. Also, without letting us pre-order him and keeping him fan channel, they almost created more demand whenever he's finally up, because it's the whole community's like, oh, I can finally order this. Everybody rushes to it. Sells out everywhere. Luckily, Big Bad put him back up, and then Entertainment Earth put him back up yesterday or today, actually, because I noticed earlier today he was available for pre-order. But luckily, our VIP member, Caleb, you don't need his extra one now, so he's sending me that extra one.
Nice.
Which is nice. So
Caleb was getting me that one, and then and Toy Snowman hit me up, and I was like, well,
yeah, you can't turn that down.
No,
for sure.
Yeah.
And then also shipping out, especially from Big Bad, is the Droideka and the Phase 1 Clone Trooper. I got the Phase 1 Clone Trooper from Entertainment Earth, but Big Bad is also shipping out the Droideka, and people have that in hand now. So
yeah. So and Hasbro Pulse. I have mine on order from Hasbro Pulse. My P1 clones should get here tomorrow or Saturday from Hasbro Pulse. And then the Droideka, they did say was shipping soon.
Mm-hmm. So Big Bad was first on Droideka for the States. And then hopefully Entertainment Earth isn't too far behind, because that's where I go to for pretty much everything. That's not an Amazon exclusive or other exclusive. Next, we have some clones that were officially reissued. We have Rex and Fox.
This happened today.
So after 3 years
today.
of being on pre-order, Rex
well, that was funny because it was like earlier this week or late last week, people started getting emails from Big Bad Toy Store saying that their pre-order was finally like processing or something, or like it was like, oh no, I think they moved it to a new SKU or something. I thought with the way that they were going to, with the way they labeled it, it was going to be a new box, because it was, I think the way that they listed it was Clone Captain Rex, and then it said the Clone Wars. So to me, that says
packaging, like
Clone Wars packaging, Galaxy Box. I just thought, doing what we always want them to do, and just put it in the new box. Not a big deal. Same figure, whatever. But it looks like they're not. It looks like it's the same packaging.
Hey, can you believe it? Red box in 2024.
Red 2024.
Isn't that absurd?
Those came out in 2018. That's 6 years ago.
Good Lord.
Yeah. But I'm happy. I'm happy for people that are finally getting these.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, especially Captain Rex. I know Fox was a weird one because he was early days of Fan Channel, and there was a lot of confusion about where to get him. And I don't think I ever actually saw him. I think I got him probably from like Papa Gord or I don't remember who, but it was someone like that, and they were in Canada, and that's the only reason I have a Fox. Captain Rex was part of a wave that didn't actually get a lot of circulation. I saw it at a Target once. I got my Captain Rex for $3 because that's what it rang up as at Target, because they had it marked as clearance. Because like those cases sat in warehouses for months, to the point where they got labeled as old product and shipped to places like Five Below and Ross, and a lot of people bought them for $3 or $5 from those places because they just didn't get distributed to different stores properly.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's $3 you got your Rex for?
Yeah, I have a picture of it. Like, it was, I saw it on the shelf, and this is like a couple months before I was getting married, so we were trying not to spend money. But I'm like, and I had a Rex because I got they released it as like the one HasCon they did, the Hasbro Con. That was the exclusive there, but it was pre-face printing, so it had the older style face. So I saw it at Target, and I'm like, we're not spending money, but I really want the face printed version of this Rex. So I grabbed it and I rang it up, and it was $297. And I was like, holy crap. And then I went back and started scanning other figures to see what else rang up at $297. Because it's like $3. Like, I'm gonna buy.
I mean, you gotta stock up. Yeah,
exactly,
for sure. That's better than the Five Below price for Rex.
It was not. It was Target too. Like, it wasn't like I was at Five Below or Ross. Like, I was at Target.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Fox is a weird one because
Fox is a weird one.
He's been like out of stock, then it seems like in stock on Big Bad for the last 6 years or however long he's been. Just kind of like floats in and out of stock forever. And then Rex is another weird one, considering he was so cheap at Five Below until those ran out. And then I guess he became super popular Black Series figure and was worth $117 or something. And then now it get reissued. And I do kind of wish he was in a Galaxy box, or I feel like that would make sense. But I guess
I would have probably bought him again if he was. I'll be honest. And that's stupid. Even if he was not different. Obviously, I want a Captain Rex on the new body. Obviously. Oh, and there is one thing. On his Twitter today, pretty sure Yak Face teased a Phase 1.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna get into. It looks like Yak's kind of making the rumor official, I guess. Phase 1 Rex should be, and I'm assuming that would be obviously in newer packaging.
I would assume so. Hopefully on a newer body. I'm just fingers crossed.
Yeah. So I have a theory. I think they'll put that in an Ahsoka packaging because he was in the Phase 1 look in the Ahsoka show.
He was. I pointed it out on my. I did a video on the Clone Trooper 2-pack, and I was like, I did a little thing where like I rewound it. I'm like, is that Rex? Because he's like in the background.
Yep.
The Phase 1
he's
Rex
in the
like,
background.
He's so tiny in the background, but it's definitely Phase 1 Rex. Yeah.
And so they're gonna do the thing. It's gonna be like having R2 in the Mandalorian box. You're like, this. He was in the show, but this makes no sense. You know what I mean?
It doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Like he was a cameo. Like, come on now, just put it in a New Hope box. What's the big deal?
I mean, literally, you could put him in almost any other movie box. Return of the Jedi, sure. Empire Strikes Back, absolutely. A New Hope, sure. A Phantom Menace, yep. Attack of the Clones, you got it. Revenge of the Sith, absolutely. Mandalorian,
The Force Awakens.
The Force Awakens, yeah.
Even though he might have more screen time in Mandalorian,
I think it's about the same, to be honest. I think it's about the same.
Last Jedi, Rise of Sky. I don't know I can't even remember. I know he sat by Leia in Rise of Skywalker, but Last Jedi, I can't remember R2 in that movie at all.
He was under a blanket for a while, and then BB-8 pulls it off, and then C-3PO.
Oh, he talked to Luke.
C-3PO was like, C-3PO was like, oh, he was that was in Last Jedi, yeah.
Last Jedi, he talks to Luke on the Falcon.
Talks to Luke.
Force Awakens at the end, he does the
he does the thing, yeah. He comes back to life when they come back from doing the thing, yeah.
Any other box would have made a little more sense than the Mandalorian, but whatever. Hey, new media, we get it.
It's fine. Yeah. The figure is what's important.
Yeah, so Phase 1 Rex should be cool, and it looks like Hasbro's trying to get some more easy cash by reissuing this older Rex first.
Well, and that makes sense. Like, Hasbro doesn't make any money off those third-party sales. It doesn't matter if Rex is selling for $100 on the aftermarket. Hasbro doesn't see a dime of that, so they're literally leaving money on the table by not responding to that demand.
Yep, and so Yakface did officially add some reissues to his master list for 2024. Now read those off. We have, obviously, these two were put up today, Captain Rex and Clone Commander Fox. We have additional reissues coming up officially from Yakface. And I say officially from Yakface because when Yak says it, it's like 98% gonna happen. I know Nerdzoic leaked some stuff when we had him on the show, but that's still like that, whenever it's anybody but Yak, you do kind of have to question it. So we have Plo Koon, Hunter from Season 1 of Bad Batch, Crosshair from Season 1 of Bad Batch, Ahsoka Tano, Clone Wars, which that was put up on Entertainment Earth and then took down. It's still, my pre-order is still on for that one. They haven't canceled that. Hera Syndulla from Rebels, Sabine from Rebels, which were put up on Entertainment Earth accidentally as well and taken down. And then Dr. Aphra, BT1, 000, and Bosk will all be getting a reissue. And then the only ones from the Nerdzoic report on that list were Plo Koon, Fox, Ahsoka, 000, and Bosk. Those were the only ones on the Nerdzoic list. The other ones are all newer reissues that we're just now hearing about. So filling holes in people's collections. I'm glad I'll be getting a Bosk for retail, which is nice. I've been holding out. I might pick up BT1 and 000 too, and maybe that original Dr. Aphra because I don't have any of those. But all those other ones, I think I'm good on. Like I didn't pre-order Rex or Fox because I already have them.
Yeah.
And I did pre-order an Ahsoka whenever that popped up on Entertainment Earth because I extra one in package to keep. Maybe get Ashley to sign one day at a con. But I'm glad to see people getting holes filled in their collection.
Absolutely. Again, never against that. Always for, like, there's nothing special about you owning a toy that other people don't. Like, that's not a cool flex. It's a weird flex. It's just a toy. I think toys should be available to anyone that wants to buy it. It doesn't hurt anyone. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's like people get.
I feel less special because I had something that only a few other people had, even though there were still hundreds and thousands of people that had it.
Yeah, like people have to realize, like, these are Hasbro toys. Hasbro, they're just a toy company. They're gonna release these figures again, and just because your $120 Rex or your Emperor Palpatine and Throne, which we'll talk about here soon, gets reissued, like, I don't see what the big deal is. You bought a toy just because it's not worth $120 anymore, but other people get to enjoy it now. I would rather have every figure on my shelf I could sell for retail or less, and everybody has a good chance to get it, or have, like, my figures, like, have one figure I can sell for 80, and then all of them, the rest of them are just, like, sell for retail or below or whatever. So I would much rather have, like, the figures values stay affordable on the secondary market instead of inflate, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I don't care about value of my collection. I care about value of my stock in my 401k and the stocks of crypto.
That's true too. Yep.
Not the toys on my shelf that I open and 3D print for, and it's just a fun hobby. So,
yep.
Like, is it nice? I can sell something for a good amount if I want to offload something and buy something else. Like sure, but I don't care if it gets devalued. Like the Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Maul 3-pack, if that devalues these two things up here, I don't care. I keep these on the card because I think it looks cool, like, not because it's, like, worth something. So, but yeah, enough of that. Everybody has a chance to get it, which is great. Hopefully they reissue them again one day. Hopefully on new body. Maybe they'll just do new bodies in the future.
That's what I really want. Honestly, like, that's what I really want. I want to
It's cool they're reissuing Phase 2 Rex, but they could have put this on the 2020 or the 2023 clone body and made a ton of money. Like, just make a mass amount of them. Yeah. Everybody's gonna buy it. Yeah. And Hasbro could have made a lot of money, but I guess it's cheaper to reissue than do a new one, I guess.
I mean, yeah, they've already got it made. They've already got it done. Yeah. It's just weird. Like, it's weird that they even put it in the old packaging. That's so weird. I'm not going to get over that. That's like, so
it's
weird.
2024. Why are we still releasing red box figures?
I don't know.
Just put them in new packaging.
It's fine. I'm not going to let it get me all on a twist. Like, there's nothing worth getting over upset about.
Well, it's weird because what we're going to talk about here in a second, the Emperor with Throne was in a new packaging, but then all these other ones, or who knows what.
And we can let's jump into that. Let's jump into that so we can talk about it. So
here it is.
The day after we recorded and released this episode, on what is it? The Revenge of the Sixth.
Yeah, Revenge of the Sixth.
So what's your stance on that? Before we get into the figure, I've never seen debate before this year of people being like, no, it's Revenge of the Fifth, and other people are like, no, it's Revenge of the Sixth. Like, which side of the debate do you fall on?
So Revenge of the Sixth sounds better for episode 3 because Sith 6.
I agree.
But
right there.
Yeah. I kind of I heard somebody say you have Revenge of the Fifth, and then you have Return of the Sixth, because Return of the Jedi is the 6th movie in the saga.
It doesn't sound right, though.
I know, but I really don't care either way. I think Revenge of the Sixth
it's a made-up holiday either way. Yeah. It's not a real thing.
Yeah, you know how, like, other sagas have they're trying to do their catchy, like Harry Potter's trying to do a catchy day, and all these other sagas are trying to, like, Star Wars is really the only franchise with a holiday. Like, the Revenge of the Sixth is kind of that for Star Wars. It's like they're trying to make it happen, but it's just not going to happen.
So there's a YouTube channel called Chris and Jack, and the Jack on there is the voice of Sokka from Avatar, and he's like a voice actor anyway. They have a skit every year. They do it where they try to push July 6th Park, like it's Jurassic Park, but July 6th Park.
Gosh.
And as a joke from May the 4th, where it's like, why did Star Wars get something? Why doesn't Jurassic Park get something? Happy July 6th Park. Yeah. So it is kind of the same thing. You're right. It's dumb.
Mm-hmm.
So dumb.
I like Pletho in the chat. He says, I am the 7th. I like that. I like that one. That's better than Revenge of the 5th. Or
and then I've heard it's Treason 10. Well, there's a whole there's something that goes all the way out. Like people like 5th was there's always a bigger 5th, and then Revenge of the 6th.
I am the 7th.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's something for all of them. Maybe we'll try to track those down one day.
I've seen one, but I guess my point of asking is like whether you think it's Revenge of the 6th or Revenge of the 5th. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's stupid. Have fun. Maybe the Sith just get 2 because they're that cool, right?
Yeah, no more,
why not?
No less.
No less. That's right. There's always
no more, no less.
Always 2 there are. One is the master, the other is the apprentice. They get 2 dates. Oh my goodness,
That's perfect. We cracked the code.
Cracked it. That's right. Anyways,
so now we got to debate which one's the master and apprentice.
That's true. I think the apprentice comes first and the master comes second. That's
okay.
Like you have to defeat the apprentice before you can
get
face
to the
master. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So they dropped the Emperor Palpatine and throne
At midnight.
At midnight. Well, it was 9:00 my time, but still, it was like, late at night. It's
midnight Eastern.
It's like Sunday night at like 9 p.m. And I'm just like, what?
So though, literally, like I'm sure I don't know if this was Hasbro or Amazon, that did this drop, but
Amazon.
Whoever made the decision for the
Amazon,
time,
I guarantee it.
Yeah, most likely Amazon. But whoever was the person that said midnight Eastern on a Sunday night.
On a Sunday.
When the whole East Coast is sleeping for work and the Central region is getting ready to go to bed. And even the West Coast is probably gearing up to go to bed for work tomorrow. Or they're watching their show before they go to bed. And now everybody's got to rush for pre-order. Also, this is a very sought-after item. It is still up for pre-order. But could you imagine it? I pre-ordered one just so somebody who wanted it wouldn't miss out, just in case it did sell out real quick. I could hook a Patreon number up or something. But I did cancel it since it's still available, so I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, there was definitely kind of a scramble when this went up. Like I was like, oh my God, I have to tell people about this. Not because I wanted to be like the first to tell people, but because I know there's so many people that weren't collecting in 2019 when this came out. And this is a legit Black Series Grail item because of how expensive it was.
Absolute Grail item for Black Series collectors. Grails don't drop every day. I like this one again.
Around the survivors, a perimeter create. Oh, Pletho, you are worth every dime we pay you.
And that's 0.
That's
negative 25.
You are worth every dime you pay us.
So Pletho has done I Am the 7th and Around the Survivors of Perimeter Create.
I like that one.
I love it. I'm waiting on the 9th one now. We need it. But yeah, so Palpatine, new box. And I wonder if
that's it though.
It's an Amazon exclusive.
Yeah. So we talked about this and how this seems to be, because it's in the same style packaging and it's listed in the description, from that Masters of Evil line that we talked about. There was a 3-pack with Vader and Grievous and Thrawn.
I'm too distracted by the chat.
Yeah. We're trying to have a conversation, chat.
No more. Chat. No more of those. They're too good. But yeah, so we were speculating whenever that 3-pack came out, the Grievous Thrawn Vader. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they called it Master of Evil. And then Ken Plume said on our podcast, he said, what if this is the kickstart to like an Amazon exclusive Masters of Evil subline? Then our opinions, I think, kind of changed on the 3-pack. We're like, oh, that's kind of neat. And then we noticed when this came out, this packaging is the same color shade of red as that one. And like Mike said just now, on the back of the packaging, it says Masters of Evil in the description for this Darth Sidious, like to start the paragraph.
Yep.
So I'm considering, and it's Amazon exclusive. This is like the first single release, in my opinion, of the Masters of Evil.
This is the fourth figure in the
second release.
Yeah.
And so I guess we could also speculate on what, I mean, I guess we'll do that in another show, speculate what other villains they could do.
Yeah, that's a future show for sure.
That's a future show for sure. But, you know, everybody just think of a villain, they can put it in an Amazon exclusive card and then, you know, call it a day.
Yeah. So it's the same physically. It's the same, except for it does seem to have a better paint job on the face.
May.
Yeah.
We're not 100% sure because this could just be the you know, prototype figure that looks really good. But it could be updated photoreal. If this is updated photoreal, are you gonna pick it up? Or
I've already got it on pre-order. I was sitting happy, not pre-ordering it, just happy for other people that were gonna get it. And then when I saw the yak face differences on the post he made, I was like, fuck. And just for fun, because it doesn't cost anything to pre-order. Like I put one down just in case, kind of like what you were saying. And I could fully cancel at any point. Like I'm happy with the one I have. I don't need a new one. In fact, if I got a new one, I would sell the old one because I don't need two of these. You know, there's no extra diorama or display I could set up where I would need two emperors and two chairs.
Yeah, I agree. I actually, you know, I did pre-order them, but I canceled mine because I was thinking about it. I was like, well, I could keep it and then replace it. But at the same time, my emperor, you know, he's way far up top. I barely ever look at his face. He's just more of like, it's the chair. It's like the aura of him sitting in the chair. So I was like, I'm fine without, even if it did have an updated face print, I'm fine without doing the hassle of selling one and shipping it.
Sure.
But, you know, for those people who are worried about value, you can have solace that maybe yours will have a little bit of value because you have an original packaging. You can put it in and sell it.
Still a little different. Yep.
But like, who cares either way? This packaging is so slick.
I think the packaging is nice. Yeah.
I think it's really nice. I really enjoy it.
This would be the kind of thing I would buy, keep in the package, and then if I ever met Ian, I would get the box signed by him.
This would be a sick one to get signed right here, like on that window right here.
Right on the window. Yep.
Yep. Would you do it on the window of the figure, or would you do it where above his chair on the picture in the front of the box? I kind of think that would look sick too.
So I think I'd want to do it. I was thinking about this. It makes sense to do on the window because that's the easiest to see, but you're never going to open it, right? So having it on the outside of the box on the slide thing makes more sense for display.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll just buy two and I'll pay for him to sign both. One for each.
There you go.
Easy peasy.
Yeah, that way you can have the signature on the outside and when you slide it, you have another.
And on the inside, yeah. Maybe I'll just buy one and pay for two signatures and just like sign this and this because I can't decide which one I want and I just want to have the option for both. He's $5 more than what he originally was, which I think is fine. Like that came out in 2019. That was 5 years ago. Like inflation, whatever, like that's less than inflation would be actually. I think $45 for this set, for the chair, for the alternate hands, the two different, 3 heads in total. It's always weird because like
the cane.
As soon as you get an extra head, that means that you have 2 heads to choose from, which means that the original head is now an accessory instead of something he has because you have, so now he has 3 heads to choose from instead of just the one. He's got a stupid cane that I hate, but I'm glad he comes with. It's a good set. I mean, I did a review on it a long time ago. If anyone wants to go watch it, it should be the same.
Yeah, this is a solid Black Series set. Definitely a grail item for a lot of people.
Oh yeah,
and
it should be and it shouldn't be. Like this is one of those things that is a classic in the Black Series. In fact, did we have a plan for inducting a new figure in the Hall of Fame?
Well, the Hall of Fame is after our reveals, so it's going to be talking.
Oh, is it on there? I didn't see it on there.
Yep, it's on there. Hall of Fame.
Oh, that's what Hoff means. That's what HOF means. Oh, I was like, what's Hoff? I thought that was an acronym for something. I was like,
you could have asked me. You could have just asked me.
Heroes of the Force or something. Okay, you're right. No, you're right.
Yeah, there's a reveal you missed. Heroes of the Force.
Yeah, I was like, what did I miss? Anyway, then we'll put a pin on that for now. I think this is good. I think it's good.
Yeah, this is a great re-release for people who missed it. I'm surprised it's still available for pre-order. Like being that big of a grail.
Yeah. And on top of that, Amazon's been like putting up like how many people are buying.
Yeah, we had a long time ago in the Out of the Basement Discord. We had a fun chat comparing vintage collection and Black Series sales.
Yeah.
Because like the bottom tier Black Series figures were outselling like the premium vintage collection figures according to the Amazon sheet.
Yeah.
So it was a fun time to tease people.
So in the last month, it's listed that over 7,000 people have bought that.
Wow, that's incredible. Over 100 people bought it through my link, which is amazing.
Nice.
Thank you.
Oh my God, you're gonna be swimming. You're gonna be swimming. You basically get a free one.
I know. That's like I was doing the math. I don't want to say it on the podcast, but it's very nice money for just posting a link. It helped me that Yak Face wasn't awake because I was kind of the first to post that link and post it. Thanks to somebody who DM'd me, who can't think of your name right now, but thank you. You know who you are listening to the podcast. And then like 50 people ordered the 3-pack, the one we're going to talk about in a minute, and that was a $70 thing. So that really helped also. So thank you for using my links, people out there. It's pays for the hobby and much appreciated. But yeah, absolute great repack. This is something that's iconic for Star Wars, an iconic Black Series figure. Everybody should have in their collection and have the opportunity to add it in your collection. Next up, we have an actual reveal, which was a former pipeline, and that is the Jedi. It was Jedi Fallen Order 3-pack.
They did say Jedi Fallen Order. It did say that.
Yeah, but they officially photoshopped it, and this was discovered on Wilbon's.
And it's definitely photoshopped.
Yeah. Wilbon discovered this on the his Monday Night Figure Ball, that it now has been updated to Jedi Survivor. So we'll see if they ship it out with the Fallen Order. I kind of think they will. I kind of think I think it'll. I don't think they're going to get it updated in time.
What's the over
on the running change time?
Yeah,
1.5 months.
All right.
I don't think they're. I don't know.
But I mean, it looks good in the new box style, which is cool.
Yeah, this is a very sleek looking set. So yeah, let's chat about the figures a little bit here. So we have.
You know what's weird about both of these is like this was pipeline. Obviously the Emperor wasn't pipeline, but this was pipeline. So we knew it was coming, but it never got revealed. The reveal was it exists and you can pre-order it now. Like the reveal was Amazon putting it up for pre-order, which is weird. Mm-hmm. Like it felt like it skipped a step, you know, when like there was a step missing somewhere in there.
Yeah, and this also went up at midnight with the with the throne, the Emperor throne,
same time.
So
same time. Yep.
Like just what an odd time to drop some Black Series figures, but. going deeper into the figures, the B2 Super Battle Droid. He's got the wrist rocket, which is a very nice touch. And we zoom in a little bit. Look at that arm cannon. That's pretty sick.
He's got an arm cannon, and that's a big deal. That's that. So it's not just a straight repaint. Like it's a whole new figure. Well, not a whole new figure. It's a new arm.
Yeah. So give me that bad boy on the normal silver B2, and I'm definitely buying at least one of them, maybe two. You never know. Give me that arm cannon on a normal one. Yeah. Because I didn't pick up this set. Did you go for this set?
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm getting this. I love stuff like this because I don't love army building. Like I'll do it sometimes for some things, but like I like naturally army building from things getting re-released in different situations. And this is kind of perfect for that for me. Even though they are repainted because they're from a video game, so they don't quite fit in. Like I'm not going to put them on my prequels shelf with the other battle droids and stuff. But this is going to be my third video game battle droid because I have the one from Jedi Fallen Order, and then the Jedi Survivor, the other one they made, and then I've got the one from what's that game, the Republic Commando. And then this one. So it's kind of a fun little video game collection where they have kind of unique, and I guess technically the heavy battle droid, the one in the first Gaming Greats release is a video game one too. Yeah.
Yeah, the Magna Guard looks cool on here. The little soft good that goes over the cloth.
I love the robe thing. He's got the showl.
I like his red arms, his maroon, the maroon paint on there, which is really nice. But that B2 is pretty sick. This will catch my eye if it hits clearance on like a Black Friday sale. But it's not I need on my shelf right now.
Sure. I think one of the things we talked about, because we knew this was coming in the pipeline, we were trying to guess how much it would be, and the thing we didn't know was what the Super Battle Droid would be. Would that be deluxe? Would it be regular? Like how much that would push it over. But for $70, getting these three figures, it could have easily been 75, 80. Deal. It's a solid deal. And I like that the Battle Droid comes with his little blast effect thing.
Yeah, that's a nice little addition, which I wouldn't expect them to do.
No, and especially for having the new arm. Like, I know the single pack release has it, but like this one doesn't have to have it, but it's got it, so I'm not complaining.
Yeah. And the B2 is already coming in a 2-pack, and it didn't include that. So,
yep,
the precedence is there for it not to include it in a multi-pack, and they did include it. And the B1 battle droid, he has this nice little handheld weapon, which looks
like an axe thing. Yeah,
it's
I like it. It's kind of cool. Yeah,
axe. The paint on him, or lack thereof, it is a weird looking droid. It's not my favorite. We didn't think it was in the game at first, but then we discovered that he is in he's on one map. So this is an actual look in the game. Because at first it looked like it was just kind of a random, like, why is there so little paint applications on his chest? So it looks like they picked like the bare minimum B1 battle droid they could find in the game.
Yeah.
And did that one.
Honestly, I don't care. I'm not a stickler for little things like that. Like I get what it's from. I get what they're going for. It looks like a Raider battle droid. And it's gonna fight my Cal Kestis from the main line. Like that's what it's there for.
Yep. So pretty cool set. $69.99, not too bad.
Nope.
On it. And I like Amazon exclusives because everybody always has like an Amazon gift card laying around, or your birthday or Christmas.
Yep.
Throw the $30 gift card on there, and you get some money off for them. So I don't mind Amazon exclusives; they're fairly easy to get. You got any other thoughts on these reveals before we move on?
I mean, they were random, and we even joked on the May the 4th stream that they always reveal something after we're done. And when we cleared Saturday, I was like, okay, we're good. Like, they're not going to reveal anything until probably, if they did, it's going to be sometime during the week. Like, I thought for sure, since we cleared that Saturday, we're fine. And then Sunday, I was still feeling good until 9 o'clock. I was like, what the heck?
Yep. Then midnight came Eastern time, and they just dropped these two things.
Yeah, so. I mean, it was fun though. Like, it's just the dialogue around the Emperor has just been fascinating. It's wild to me, all the people that are upset that they feel slighted that Hasbro is re-releasing this for people. Like, what?
Yeah.
Why? I don't get it. I really don't.
I don't get it. Yeah, like the popular things should be available. Like the Emperor on his throne should kind of be an evergreen item. Like re-release this every 5 years. You know, like let new collectors get it. We got a lot of new collectors in that, COVID wave of collectors that came in, and this was released before then. So,
if anything, they should not ever release the single pack version again. Like, no one needs that in the archive and 40. This should have been a 40th anniversary Return of the Jedi item. Like,
could you imagine the throne on the 40th carded? That would be so sick.
No, it would have been in like a box like Jabba the Hutt, where it looked like a retro box.
That would have been so good. Yeah,
and that would have been cool. I would have loved that.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't.
I would have bought it. Like, there's no question. Yeah,
for some reason, the first thing that popped in my head was like the Boba Fett and
a
the
big
Gamorrean
bubble
guard, the Gamorrean guard box where they did the giant bubble.
I don't think it would fit. I mean, true. I guess they might. I think it would just stick out too far. I mean, because
it probably would. It's a pretty thick chair.
Yeah, it is. It really is. I think it would stick out too far. But I was thinking they did a big bubble when they did the credit collection.
The Paz, right?
Or Paz Vizsla, yeah. That had a real big bubble on it.
I was trying to think. I feel like there was a Marvel Legends figure too that just had. It was like the throwback carded things they do, and they had
Apocalypse was pretty big. Apocalypse was huge.
It might have been Apocalypse,
on the
or like a Rhino. I feel like the Rhino figure
Rhino was also big. Yeah,
it was just super ginormous and it just looked a little ridiculous, but funny. Had just how big the card is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's our reveal. So some pretty cool stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this slide because we have our episodic discussion topic now, which is adding a figure to the Black Series Cantina Hall of Fame. And before last episode I thought about should we pre-plan it, but we decided no, we kind of liked talking through it, and
I like talking through it. It's part of the process.
I kind of had an idea though for the third one, to avoid it being something that we've talked about a couple times.
Yep,
we should try to do one that we haven't discussed about doing, like an obvious one on the previous episode. So like no Clone Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi yet.
Sure.
So we've done, for the listeners who maybe have not listened to our last two episodes, our inaugural Black Series Cantina Hall of Fame was Darth Vader Empire Strikes Back. And then last episode we put in the Gamorrean Guard. So this episode, what are you thinking, Mike? I see you scanning the shelf.
I'm gonna submit.
Okay.
The biker scout with speeder bike.
Oh, okay.
And my reasoning for it.
All right, go ahead.
It was the first thing in the line that was like that. I feel like it's aged very well for being as old as it is. Like, they're still releasing that mold, and even though it does have older style joints, I feel like it still holds up for what it is. Like, it still looks good. And the speeder, I don't think they could really do better with the speeder bike. Really, like,
I mean, honestly, yeah. I agree. That is a great pick. I was gonna come back with the Emperor and Throne, because since we're talking about it, maybe we could put that in.
That was the only reason why I didn't, was because you said that. Yeah,
because you were hinting at that earlier. So I think, but we had. I don't think we talked about Emperor and Throne the last two episodes.
We didn't. No,
But yeah, let's put in. All right, Mike made a excellent point. Let's put in the Biker Scout and Speeder Bike, the original blue line pack. That's going to be number 3 in the line, or in our Black Series Cantina Hall of Fame of Black Series figures.
I think these Hall of Fame figures, like if you're just getting started, or you don't know what to go for, like you've seen what's available now and you want to know like what are some older figures I should go for, this list, if you follow this list, this is going to get you a good collection. This is going to get you some figures that are still good today. And I feel like every Black Series collection should have these in them. So 100%
top-notch Black Series figures.
Empire Strikes Back, Darth Vader. I mean, Darth Vader is a classic villain. You got to have him. And that's
it's the best
one.
Pure Darth Vader in the line. Minus, not talking about the battle damage version.
But those are so specific to like what they come from. Yeah. Whereas like if you just want a Darth Vader-y looking Darth Vader, the Empire Strikes Back version, and really the only reason I would do that over like the Obi-Wan Kenobi one, because I feel like the robe tucked under his armor is the more classic look than the New Hope, because I didn't even notice that he had the underrobe over his armor for the movie. Like no one ever remembers that. It's like C-3PO's silver leg. Like he has it the whole movie, but no one ever notices it, you know? But that Vader's got the butterfly joints, and that's what really sets it apart, because the Obi-Wan Kenobi one is the same as the 2017. It doesn't have it.
Yeah, but absolutely the best Darth Vader. Pure Darth
and Vader. The Gamorrean Guard is just such a good figure.
It's a beefy boy. That's a good one.
Beefy paint apps. Plastic there. Yeah.
The jaws articulated. Yeah. Multiple weapons.
Furry underwear.
Axes.
Yeah. Real
furry underwear. Yeah.
But I think the Scout Trooper is the next logical like addition.
I like
to this
it.
List. But specifically with the speeder bike, the 2014,
the deluxe. Yeah.
Because you can get him. He was archived by himself. He was in the Return of the Jedi packaging by himself. You can get it by itself if you want, but I feel like that speeder bike is just a real necessary part of it. And that was only $40 back then.
I know.
But even the
so good.
Even the Amazon one with the Mandalorian version,
the white one,
was $50, and that's still not bad considering.
Yeah, you get Grogu and you get the little piece that he shoots at.
He was trying to shoot,
the target practice piece.
Yeah,
that was a good set. That's a good set. Hopefully that gets re-released again.
It should. I think it still goes for a lot in the aftermarket.
Yeah, the Scout Trooper bikes they're tough. They can be tough to get. You know, they're hot items. That's what Hasbro needs to reissue the Scout Trooper and Speeder. Could you imagine a brand new Scout Trooper 2 though? Like the current one holds up very well, but a brand new like a 2024 Scout Trooper would go so hard.
I would love to buy another speeder bike, because I really want to display my Endor, Luke, and Leia on a speeder bike. And I have the one in the Heroes of Endor pack, but I'm just for whatever reason, I'm so hesitant to open it. Like it's sitting there. It's got Pop Blue on it.
It's a good visual set.
Exactly. Because they're pre-posed in fun little poses. Like it's not just like, this 3-pack. They're just in a static pose standing there. There's nothing special about that. But the Heroes of Endor, they're like posed to look like they are in the movie, and that's kind of neat. I like it.
Yep. So what I did, and the people watching can see the bottom, I actually have the Endor Luke riding the speeder bike, and then I have since the white one is a Scout Trooper, I was like, I have a Scout Trooper riding one already. I'll just do Luke on this one, and I just have a Scout Trooper standing up here on the episode 6 shelf.
I have my my 3 speeder bikes just chilling out down here, like they're in part of a biker gang.
Like a dock.
The Shadows Squadron one. I've got the white one, and then I've got the regular one.
Yeah, I made the bottom of that shelf just like all the speeder bikes, and everybody, like whoever's riding them, and they're just like
like the Ray and stuff. Yeah,
and the one from Solo.
If I could go back in time and tell myself to pick up, there was one time I think I saw the speeder bike for like $25 or something on clearance or on sale. Like, Mike, you want an extra one? But back then I was very against buying more than one of anything, partially because I didn't have as much money back then. Like I had to worry about money. But yeah, I wish that I would have done that, have an extra speeder bike.
Yeah, when I was getting back into the line a couple years ago, obviously before we started the podcast. I was at a local game store. Do you all have, what's it called? It's going to bother me now. It's like Game Exchange. Anybody heard of that? Anybody heard of Game Exchange? Well, at least they're here in Louisville. But it's like a little chain. So it's probably national, but I have no idea. But they had a not loose, it was in box, but it was already opened. Normal, like 2014 speeder bike set for $60, which wasn't terrible. That's just like, I guess $20 over retail, but $60, isn't bad. I didn't pick it up. I wish I would have to have an extra one because, seeing it in person is a little different than paying for it online. So if I might see one at ICC Con and maybe I'll pick up another one there, or I'll let you know if you want another one, if it's a good deal. But yeah, great pick for the Hall of Fame this week, Mike. Great pick.
Thank you.
And our chat seems to agree with that. Wilbon and Clone Caleb Command, another VIP in here.
What's up, Clone? I see you in here.
So let's see. So moving on to our main discussion topic. So Mike and I, we kind of wanted to make this a prequel focused episode. We're going to go through each prequel movie, and we have 10 figures from each prequel film that we would like to see in the Black Series.
Yeah, the reason we're doing this is because Hasbro has said a couple times in live streams and whatnot that they're doing a prequel beat, they call it, this year, where they're just doing prequel stuff, and that's true. Like pretty much everything we've gotten this year, at least that I've bought, has been prequels based.
Mostly, yeah. It's been great, hasn't it? It's been so fabulous. I love it.
Even the one thing from the Ahsoka show,
collector.
Yeah. And even the one thing from the Ahsoka show is 2 clones, so it's still prequels, even though it came in an Ahsoka box. So it's a great time to be a prequels fan in the Black Series because it's very prequels heavy right now.
Yeah, what a great time to be a Black Series collector right now. It's so good. All these prequel figures, I am loving it. I am absolutely loving it. All right, so first up we have The Phantom Menace. So these are not...
Did you see the re-release? I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm just curious if you saw the re-release in theaters.
I did not see this.
I didn't either.
It's just as much as I love Star Wars, and as much as I don't love this movie. I'm nostalgic for some parts of this movie, like the end, Duel of the Fates, the pod race.
The last 20 minutes of the movie are amazing.
Yeah, but I didn't. Well, number one, I had like other things going on.
Sure.
But I also didn't just want to go to the theater and watch this movie in particularly, But
if it had been Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, I'm there. Yeah, I'm there. Yeah. I'm there for that one.
I was reading a thing that said that this was the number one movie watched on movie watched on Disney Plus was The Phantom Menace. and what I want to know is, number one, how far did they get through the movie? Like how many were watched to completion? And how much of it was people that are like, let's watch Star Wars. I'd never seen Star Wars before. Let's start with the first one. And then they watch it and they go, nah, I don't really want to watch the rest, because this is their first introduction to Star Wars.
They're probably sleeping on the couch halfway through it.
I have to think that that's a lot of it, because
a lot of it has to be people just fast forwarding to the Duel of the Fates, right?
Yeah. I mean, listen, as much as I love Star Wars and I love every Star Wars movie at some level, Episode 1's probably my least favorite of all.
I mean, if we're being honest, the current internet thing is to be really nostalgic about the prequels, and that's because people my age, have internet access now. But if you think about it, once we kind of go away, is the younger generation gonna have the same feelings for Episode 1?
Oh, for sure, 1000%.
Episode 1 and 2, you think?
Yep.
I just don't.
No, they're going to be. They're going to care about the sequel trilogy. The younger generation. The generation.
No, I'm saying for this, Episode 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Are they going to care about the prequels as much as we do?
Well, I think So I think
Because
like,
they're
I'm older than you, so I'm kind of the generation before you.
Yeah.
I'm like in that weird middle area where I'm not really quite your generation, but I'm not really like Generation X or whatever. But like I will never say like, oh, I don't like this movie. Like I didn't want to go see it in theaters, but like I still like it, and I love the characters from it, and I want toys from it. You know,
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So it's not like I'm not down on it, but I definitely think that specifically there's a lot of nostalgia wrapped around it from people that were in their young years.
Yeah, like the only reason I love these movies is mostly nostalgia because I grew up with them. But if I watched these as an adult, I would, or like, you know, if I took my kid to see these, I would probably think these are trash movies. Like, let's just say the prequels are badly made films. I mean, episode 3 is the dialogue in that movie is dog shit. Like, it is.
You know what I love about what I love about specifically people like you is like you love Revenge of the Sith, but you're not afraid. You're not one of those people that's tricked themselves into thinking it's like a perfect movie. Like you can acknowledge the fact that it's got flaws. But it's your favorite, and that's okay. Like it can be your favorite, and you can acknowledge that like there's problems with it as a movie. You know?
Oh yeah, and I kind of judge Star Wars differently than I do non-Star Wars films. Because I feel like Star Wars has its own special corner of filmmaking and a way it should be made.
I kind of agree with that. Yeah,
I kind of feel like if it's not cheesy, it's not Star Wars. That's why I like
a little bit.
Andor is a great story, but I feel like at the same time it took away everything Star Wars about Star Wars, and then
it was too serious to be Star Wars. Like it was too good to be Star Wars.
It was too good to be Star Wars. So I mean, I'll probably never rewatch it. Like it was a good watch. I'll watch.
Oh, I did. It's good. It's a good rewatch. I will say this: it's a good rewatch.
I just feel like if I want to watch a show like that, I'd probably rather just watch Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul or something.
I don't think it's as stressful as those. I'll never watch Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones crashed and burned so hard at the end. Like I just don't care about going back and rewatching.
I've rewatched Game of Thrones probably like 3 or 4 times. It's so good
to completion.
I mean, no, I've only seen the last season twice.
Yeah,
I'll rewatch 1 through 6,
4 or 5. Yeah,
1 through 6, and then 7 and 8 are like I don't mind. Season 7's not. I don't think season 7's as terrible as people say, but season 8, that's when it goes off the cliff.
I'll never rewatch. I have no interest in rewatching it, knowing how it ends. Like there's no reason for me to get invested in rewatching it. Whereas like, you know, I've only rewatched Andor once, but I will say on my rewatch because it was the first time watching it as a binge. Because the first time we saw it was like a weekly basis.
Yeah,
it's like okay, Whereas when you binge watch it and you get to experience the arcs in a tighter time frame, like it does hit different. It's really really good.
Yeah, I probably do need to do that. I mean, I liked it the first time. It just seems like it'd be a drag to watch again.
I get what you're saying is the point. Anyways, let's talk about figures we want to see from these movies that we're talking about how much we don't like.
Yes. So the Phantom Menace. So these are, I want to preface, these are not in order. They're in some kind of an order because I sent Mike some figures. He sent me some characters. And so they're kind of in an order. I picked like least popular characters at the beginning and then they get better as they go. So don't be mad at me if you think they're from 10 to 1. So first up, Captain Panaka.
You know what bums me out about Captain Panaka? I liked him. I was really bummed that he wasn't in episode 2 or 3. But it turns out, like canon-wise, he turned out to be like an Imperial bootlicker. Yeah. And that just kind of bums me out.
He should have. Yeah, they should have had his arc. They should have had his arc in the movie.
Yeah.
He ends up being a bad guy. He followed Anakin's footsteps. And here you go. Here's Sabe, one of the decoys.
This is Keira Knightley. Isn't that fun? That's a fun fact, right?
Yeah, fun fact. Yeah,
this is her pretending to be the queen. And you can tell she's pretending to be the queen because Padme is right over her shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In that Black Series gown that we have now.
Yep.
I put the peg warmers in the back, by the way.
Okay, good.
First.
Good, smart.
Captain Tarples.
Yeah, Captain Tarples, man. I really wanted Captain Tarples so bad.
He'd be so good.
I would love it if they were doing creatures to get him on a Kadu, like to write it.
That's wishful thinking there, bud.
It is. I know. That's hope talking. I know.
But us prequel, like, they need to give prequel collectors a chance at these big creature deluxe items, because we've only had original trilogy stuff and sequel stuff
or like
the solo movie or something. But like,
I mean,
give us
the Dewback did pretty well, and that was OT, right?
Well, yeah, we need a prequel one. That's on.
I know. I agree with you.
Yeah, the Dewback did amazing, and well, from what I can see,
but the Snowspeeder didn't.
Snowspeeder didn't, but us prequel people, give us a chance. We need a shot at a HasLab, like a Jedi Starfighter. Like, please.
If anyone out there is listening to this, I just want you to consider it. Give it a shot.
Yes, Hasbro, please. We are begging. The community has been begging.
No again, Jar Jar. Use the in big doo-doo.
All right, next up we have Padawan Anakin Skywalker, and do not get this confused for the young Anakin Skywalker that we just got.
Yes,
this is
correct.
The very end of the movie when he has a little Jedi braid tail.
What I want to know is when this takes place. Is that like a weave braid? like did they have to wait for his hair to grow out long enough? Like,
right, like how long did it take for them to get
that's what
back
I'm
to Naboo for the celebration? Like,
right, that's what I'm wondering. Like, at what point between Qui-Gon's funeral and the end of the movie celebration, how much time is there in between where obviously he's been inducted into the Jedi Order, like he's wearing little baby Jedi robes. And like it's obviously been a while because he has like a little braid now. Is he like 11 now? Is he like 10? Is he, like how long does it take to grow a weird little side rat tail?
Right, maybe his hair just grows fast.
I think there's like they weave one in like it's a little
like they clip it
attachment. They clip it in. It's a clip on braid until he can grow his own.
Yeah, it's like, how whenever you win the Super Bowl and like 6 months later you go to the White House.
Yeah,
that's when they did the celebration. They had to wait a long time.
Yeah, they have maybe have to wait. Yeah.
Yep.
I just always assumed it was pretty much right after, but that's the thing with Star Wars, and that's always been a problem with Star Wars is the passage of time. They don't really have a good indicator for the passage of time. Like, how much time does Empire Strikes Back take place over? Like, was Luke on Dagobah for a day, a weekend, a month,
2 weeks?
Year? Like how long did it take for the Millennium Falcon to get to the Bespin system without light
speed?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some questions in that OT, boy, I tell you. Next up, we have Naked C-3PO. I would love this one. I would love this one so bad.
A mighty need.
Absolutely. Watto. I think everybody would be in on a Watto.
You need one. Obviously, he's got to have a little stand to plug into for flight because no one's gonna be posing this guy. And it'd be cool, I think, if he came with two different wings. Maybe one that was like regular wings and one that kind of is like blurry.
Look like he's like the blurry lightsaber we got.
Yeah. I think that would be really cool.
That'd be cool. Or do you think they would just do like ball joint wings, like articulated?
I mean, they could, but if they did ball joint wings, those could pop out.
Yeah, there we go. We're cooking.
And if they didn't, I'm sure some 3D printer person could create some that could go in there. But I really think that they need some kind of like wing attachment to make it look like it's a flurry of wings because that's really
I agree.
important, especially if he's off the ground.
Oh, yeah, I agree. A little white stand he can pop into. That'd be great.
I love the stubble on his chin, on Watto's chin. It's like my favorite thing about him.
That's so random.
It is. I know. It's true, though.
Yaddle, next up.
Yaddle. Gotta have Yaddle. Especially now that we get that Yoda with the chair. Like, we need a Yaddle.
Give us a Yaddle. Just repack the chair. Let's do it.
God, she's ugly.
I know, that's so
Like,
bad.
she's
She's so much
so
better in Tales of
ugly.
the Jedi.
You know what? It's so weird. Because the original Yoda puppet from the original release was also very ugly.
So bad. Yeah.
And it kind of bums. I don't know, it doesn't bum me out, but it irks me a little bit that they replaced that with the CGI version. But they didn't
never
fix
did
Yaddle. Like Yaddle's still this nightmare fuel puppet in the background. Like she
Guess how
doesn't have
George
any
is like,
lines.
no,
Yeah,
nope, not doing it. No,
yeah,
don't spend the money. Don't waste your time.
yeah. Don't waste time. She's voiced by Bryce Dallas Howard, which is neat, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah,
fine.
that's neat.
She doesn't talk weird like Yoda does.
Next up, we have Sebulba, which would be an amazing addition to the Black Series, especially if he came with a pod racer.
Obviously, I would love it if it came with a pod. I think a pod racer would be so easy to do in the Black Series. Like, it's not big.
I think, especially if they've released an Anakin, like a little Anakin with a pod racer, if Hasbro gives it a chance, I think it'll sell really well.
I think and this is just my thoughts. I think they could do a HasLab that's like both pod racers, and then tiers could be like world building pieces, like the archway or something.
Like
but
flame, like boost effects or something.
Yeah, but I think if they did like a $250, $300 HasLab, where you get Anakin and Anakin's pod racer and Sebulba's pod racer, and they had little stands for
Flight
like
stands.
the pods and stuff. Yeah, flight stands, but they were all individual pieces. Like, I just think it would be really, really cool.
I can hear the haters now. I could 3D print this for $40.
I'm sure you could.
I can buy this from a customizer for $20 free shipping.
I guarantee you can't. I guarantee you can't.
It's like whenever people were saying I can buy a Rancor for $300.
Yeah.
And then it's like we talked to
Layer Creations
John
about
Bryson,
that. Yeah,
and
John
then he's
Bryson.
like,
yeah.
He's like, I would sell this for less than $950. Like, this took so much work. Amazing. Next up for Phantom Menace, this is not Count Dooku. This is Newt Gunray.
Yeah, it was weird that you got an Attack of the Clones picture here, but I get it.
Yeah, look, I know I wanted a widescreen picture, and the options were limited for Newt Gunray. So I didn't even realize it was Attack of the Clones, really. But whenever I was such in a rush making this, I finished this like 10 minutes before the podcast.
I know. But it might have, in your defense, like we told me to send it to you like 3 hours before this, and I sent it to you like an hour and a half.
Yeah,
I listened an hour and a half. That's because I didn't check my messages. I had a really long day at work, and I was getting lunch when you texted me that, and then after I was done working, I was like, oh, I should send Zach my list, and that's when I did it.
Well, I could have downloaded the pictures I picked in advance too, but I didn't do that either.
But you didn't, yeah.
It's okay.
Anyways, I think Newt Gunray he's kind of the main antagonist of the Phantom Menace in a way. Like, obviously Darth Maul and Sidious are maybe the overall bigger antagonists, but like Newt Gunray
he has his role to play.
He's the one that like kind of kicks it all off, like
and he's in all three movies.
He's in all three movies.
Fairly important to the prequel trilogy.
He is. Yeah,
like he's like a B-list, villain for the prequel trilogy. Like, and that's like at worst, maybe C-list villain, but he is in all three.
He's in all three.
Dooku can't say that. Darth Maul can't say that.
Darth Maul definitely can't say that.
Yep. So. Next up, and finally, we have Queen Amidala, of course, the famous red dress, the iconic look that we talked about earlier in a listener email. But this is the one that is not necessarily a glaring hole in the collection. I wouldn't go that far. But with the items that they've been revealing lately, like the B2, the Droideka, the Darth Sidious from Episode 3, we're getting to that territory where this is probably one of those ones that's like getting to be a glaring hole, but I wouldn't go that far yet.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't yet, but a potential glaring hole. And this, I would argue, this is probably Amidala's most iconic look. Like when you think
easily,
Queen
Easily.
Amidala, this is what you think of.
Yeah, this is the look. Yeah. That's absolutely the most iconic look. I think everybody would be in on this, especially if they did. I don't know if they could do what they would do for the lights down below. I don't think they would do. They wouldn't do light up lights. They wouldn't do. They could maybe do
something.
glow in the dark, translucent. I'm sure they would do something like that. But either way, like I really wouldn't care. I just want this figure on the shelf. Like that would pop. Like the red and the gold. It would
I was
pop
translucent
so
with maybe like a light up base, like the holocom.
Ooh, there we
base
go. Now we're talking.
Made to fit over, like under her.
Yeah. $39.99. Charge me.
But honestly, for something like this, I would want this to be a deluxe. I'll be honest. Like if it took that to get the quality of like this gown, the robe, the shoulders, all of that stuff, like I would expect it to be that.
Yeah, I think we're in the same boat. I would be willing to pay extra to get it right, the first time rather than to have a crappy version.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Attack of the Clones. So that was 10 figures from the Phantom Menace. Are there any we missed? I know like a normal Palpatine from Phantom Menace would be cool, but
so I see like both Pletho and Wilbon are saying Rick O'Lee, and honestly, he was on my list, and I took him off when you sent me yours, and I saw you had C-3PO on it, and I didn't have it on mine, and I was like, okay, what character on this list can go? Because C-3PO is a must. And unfortunately, Rick O'Lee didn't make the cut, but he is definitely an honorable mention, I would say.
I would also like the just like a generic Naboo pilot. I think
yes.
that'd be cool too.
Yeah. A generic Naboo pilot or a generic like Naboo soldier.
Or a Naboo starfighter. Just
a Naboo starfighter or a Naboo speeder with a little blaster on the back.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Hasbro, give us prequel collectors a deluxe chance. We'll back it. We'll do it. We'll support it. All right, Attack of the Clones, Black Series figures we need. So don't get mad at us. I know there's a lot of Jedi in the background of that scene, but we didn't do all. We could do all Jedi based off the.
We could make a list of just Jedi, and
but
that's not what we're going for. We want to spread the love out a little bit.
Yeah, so we're spreading the love, and first we have Captain Typho.
Captain Typho.
So he's yeah.
I mean, you gotta have a cap. You gotta have he's Padme's like bodyguard guy. Like, of course.
Yeah, we didn't want to do all Jedi. We had to pick some characters. Don't be mad at us.
It's got a cool eye patch.
Yeah, it's a cool eye patch. Eye patch guy. We have this. You texted me Padme. Is this the look of Padme that you?
No, it's not. It's not. But this is fine too. No, the Padme I was thinking is either the Padme from the beginning of the movie, when she's in the office, or the Padme. There's a couple different Padme looks that are good, or the gown she's wearing when they're on Tatooine, meeting like the Lars family and stuff. She's wearing like this kind of a flowy dress kind of dealio. But honestly, this is good too, because we have the other Padme that uses this, but then like that Nexu conveniently ripped her midsection away.
We need the ripped midsection.
We need the ripped midsection.
And the slash, give us the slash on the back. The sculpted slash would be.
But this would honestly be the last one I would want from the movie. I would much prefer to have. I feel like it's important to have at least one Padme from every movie. But I know we already have one from Attack of the Clones, but she's got a couple different looks, so I still put one on there. But my thought was one of her earlier outfits.
Yep. All right. Next up. Dexter Jettster, baby.
Dexter. Oh, Obi-Wan. I love Dexter. I love his tummy sticking out under his shirt. He's so good.
This would be such an amazing Black Series figure. You know
what I love about this? You know what I love about this the most? We just had Padme with midriff exposed. Now we got Dexter Jettster with midriff exposed.
With the stomach hanging out.
Exactly. So no sexism here, no misogyny here. I want every character to have an exposed midriff, regardless of gender, girth, shape, alien, how many arms you got. I don't care. I just want to see your tummy. Show me your tummy.
Just like the Ben Solo from Last Jedi. We need the shirtless Kylo Ren. Standing
Ben
there.
Solo.
Just standing there all like that. Wat Tambor. Next up.
The leader of the Techno Union. I just love his look. Absolutely love it. I love that he turns dials on his chest to talk, like he's dialing in his voice. It's just a neat look.
This would be a really cool action figure. Just like a cool alien on the shelf that's in the movie. I think it'd be sick.
Yeah.
Yep.
Boba Fett. Little Boba Fett. Little Daniel Logan.
Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, Tone Ways here. Love it.
Yeah. I mean, another Attack of the Clones figure that we need for sure. Hopefully we can get him on the podcast whenever this figure gets
revealed. That'd be awesome to get Daniel Logan on. I would love to get Daniel Logan on the podcast.
That would be sick. Next up, we have Poggle the Lesser.
Poggle the Lesser, yeah.
Which would be a very unique figure. Yeah, it'd be so unique. Nice alien there.
Make him a 2-pack with like a regular Genosian, but
yeah, for sure. Let's do it. Zam Wessel with both heads, hopefully.
You need both the human head and the shape changer head for sure.
They could save some plastic and just make it like at the alt face, how they do the Endor Trooper and the Hoth Trooper.
Sure, yeah.
Swappable face.
She has a helmet. Like you could easily do that for sure.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's probably a better option for Hasbro.
Yeah.
Just sculpt the helmet and then just do the faceplate switch.
Yep.
Yeah, that's perfect.
I think he's a she, and I think she's a shapeshifter.
I see what you did there.
Woke Star Wars, if you know what I mean.
Since day one.
There we go.
Geonosian Warrior.
I just love these. Like, you know, it's weird. I can't think, even in 3 3/4 inch, when was the last time Hasbro made a Genosian Warrior in the line? I think maybe
it's gotta be a long time ago.
It's gotta be so long.
When's the last time any product has made a Geonosian, like Lego? I'm sure there's a Lego set, but like, how long ago have they? Maybe in a couple years we'll get some Attack of the Clones anniversary stuff. I
just like them, like little wing guys, like the bugs. I like them. I want one as a toy.
Yeah, we need more stuff for our clones to shoot.
Oh, for sure. And again, little flight stand would be pretty cool. Just saying. Hasbro, they're fly guys.
Swap wings. Yep.
Poggle the Lesser doesn't need a flight stand thing, but these little guys need flight stands. Yeah.
Coleman Trevor. There's your boy.
I look. Who was it? Yeah, Wilbon says Coleman Trevor for the Jedi, and I wanted to say something. Like, I know he's in here because I know he was on my list.
Oh yeah.
You need the
Dino Jedi.
You need the dinosaur Jedi. You just gotta have him.
Where it's just so funny how he lands there, ignites it, and then just immediately dies.
Just immediately gets shot by Jango.
No blocking the blasters whatsoever. No attempt to do so.
The guy went down like an absolute bitch, and I love him for it.
You know what I've never understood? Why don't Jedi just do what Kylo did when he killed Snoke, where you ignite it through the person? Why did he stand there, ignite it, and then try to swing? Just like right when you land with it, out, and then hit the button.
Because it's not the honorable thing to do. That's like, I genuinely think at this point, Jedi were trained to fight, but they weren't trained to like murder and kill. There's a difference between I'm in a fight and I'm out for blood.
So he went up there to arrest Dooku and then just blasted.
Yeah. Like he knew he was in a fight, but he was mostly there to defend, or he's gonna challenge him to an honorable duel or something, and Jango's like, nah. He Indiana Jones'd him. Where he just pulled out his gun and shot him.
That's my favorite. That's like one of my favorite scenes in all the movies where the guy's messing with a sword and he just pulls.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's just in Star Wars there.
Yeah.
But I think for me, it was between him and that other Jedi that's like a big duck. I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but you know who I'm talking about. There's like a duck Jedi and there's like a dinosaur Jedi, and they are the best Jedi. There's no, you cannot argue with me about this. I am right. I don't care what you have to say about whether or not they died, how fast they died. There is a dinosaur Jedi, there is a duck Jedi, and they are the best.
They are
Jedi.
the best.
They are the
They
best.
are the best.
They are the best.
And I think we have one more Attack of the Clones. I could be wrong, but it is Luminara Unduli.
Love it. Love her in that when she ignites her lightsaber in the battle. I'm just like, yep. I remember, what movie that came out? 2002. So I was 19 years old. And I'm watching all these Jedi just ignite their lightsabers. And like, this is the first time in any Star Wars we've seen anything on this level. Mm-hmm. There's been no media, books. I mean, even if it's books, it's like all in your imagination, but there hasn't been any books. There's been no video games. There's been no movies, no TV shows that show just a buttload of Jedi turning on their lightsabers, getting ready to throw down. So this in 2002 was just
it was
nuts.
amazing.
It was overwhelmingly cool.
I remember me and my cousin, I hiccuped mid-podcast. Me and my cousin would always play in his backyard like we were in the Battle of Geonosis, like in the arena. And then at school during recess, like I was really little at this time, but I remember me and all my friends with our little plastic lightsabers just running around, like felt like we were in the battle. Like that's where we were fighting droids, and that was just like some of the best times that, you will ever have as humans on this earth. And
that's one of the things. That's one of the things for me with the prequels. Like, they're not my favorite movies as movies in general, but there's always something in them that go, okay, like that is I'm glad this exists because it gives us that. And for Attack of the Clones, that whole last 40 minutes or so of the movie is why I watched the movie like 5 times in theaters. Mm-hmm. For the Phantom Menace, that the whole fight between Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan and Darth Maul was why I saw that movie in theaters 10 times. Like, I went to go see those movies and sat through most of the movie just so I could experience these scenes because there was just nothing like it at the time.
Yeah, like we said, the prequels, like as films, are not good films.
Nope.
But they have very special moments. And
yes.
As much as I would have liked to go watch The Duel of the Fates in theaters, I just couldn't get myself to watch the entire movie.
I was with you. I was too busy to go to a movie. But I would say that actually that's not true. We did go see a movie. I take it back. We purposely chose to go see a different movie instead of The Phantom Menace. We saw Boy Kills World, which is one of the Skarsgård kids, and H. John Benjamin like does his voice because he can't talk or anything. It was pretty funny. It was very violent. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. But that's like you're going with I'm sure you went with your wife, right?
I went with my wife. It was our date day. We wanted a whole date day.
Yeah, that's a day. You're not going to go see Phantom Menace for a day.
No, and honestly, I don't regret what we saw because it was worth seeing in the theaters. Where I've seen the Phantom Menace in a theater before.
Yeah, this is a movie I'd rather watch, at home. But
when sit on the couch. You can pause it when you need it. You can dick around on your phone while it's going on for like the boring lovey-dovey parts where Anakin's riding a big tick through a field.
It's fabulous times back then. All right, so we're gonna move on to Revenge of the
the only thing on here. Oh, you know what? You know when I said I had Padme on here, and you're like, which one? Take it back. The dinner scene Padme. The one where she wore the sexy dress and was like, Anakin, we can't be together.
And then
I
fully
made a
exposed.
choice. I made a choice to wear this extremely tight black dress that's accentuating my parts, but we can't be together. Like, I get it. You know what? I'm not going to shame you. You can wear what you want. I'm just saying you're sending mixed messages.
Yeah, that's the one you picked. You have all the dresses that are
you can
full.
wear that dress anytime.
She has outfits that cover her face
Yeah.
all the way to her toes.
Yeah.
And that's the one she picked.
It's just the message you're sending is just mixed. That's all I'm saying.
Fireside Padme. Yeah, that's the one I need. That's the one I need. All right, Revenge of the Sith. Definitely the best prequel. Up for no debate.
Oh no, yeah. There's no question.
I know. Pletho in the chat. I know Phantom Menace is his favorite overall.
That's fine. He can have that as a favorite. That's fine. That's fine. He can have whatever movie he wants as his favorite.
But Revenge of the Sith, absolutely the best prequel. So let's start with Bail Organa. Because
Jimmy Smits.
Classic.
I just need a Jimmy Smits character. That's all I care about.
And you could put him in anything. You could put
anything.
Him in
Obi-Wan? Obi-Wan?
Obi-Wan. Revenge of the Sith.
Clone Wars, that's pretty much it.
Rebels.
Tales of the Jedi.
Tales of the Jedi. I don't remember him in it, but
he was in the episode 10 because he's at Padme's funeral and he has a whole conversation with the.
Oh yeah. You're right. All right, yeah. I forgot about all that. Next up, Mustafar getting choked Padme.
You need that kind of pregnant Padme where she's definitely pregnant, but she doesn't really look pregnant.
She's definitely not twins pregnant. I can tell you that.
Not at all. But it's a cool outfit. Like, I like her little collar. I like her little bandolier thing.
Yeah, she's got Luke and Leia in her. We need that Padme.
Yeah, she's a threefer. I mean, technically,
it's a 3-pack.
She's a 3-in-1.
$24.99 3-pack.
That's right. What a deal.
And next up, we have Tarful because he's
gotta have Tarful.
They can maybe find a way to reuse a little bit of that Black Chrysanthemum figure.
I think they could.
Give us some Tarful, some Wookiee warriors. That would be that would be sick.
The Eath-Koth?
Is this Eath-Koth or is this a different one? No, this is a
Aegon Kolar.
This is Egan Kolar.
Yeah, Egan Kolar.
This is Egan Kolar.
Yeah. I always get them confused, honestly, and I probably shouldn't, but I'm kind of racist when it comes to aliens.
I mean, they're all just background Jedi.
Well, the reason I put him in here, because that was on my list, is I wanted all the Jedi that were the ones that went to go face Palpatine in his office. Like, I wanted to be able to recreate that scene.
That makes sense. That's a good point.
Because we have Mace, we've got Kit, and there were 4 of them. I think so. I know we're missing Aegon Kolar, and I think Saesee Tiin or whatever his name is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Saesee Tiin. Yeah, Eath-Koth has long hair with horns,
you're right.
A little bit of horns and long hair. Yep.
Yeah.
Next up, we have. So this is the Galactic Marines. Is this picture, and then the slightly zoomed in picture is Commander Bakara. So
because we want both.
Slides I did there. Yeah, we want both.
We want both. And originally I was like, okay, I want like a cool clone. Honestly, I think Bakara is probably the coolest looking clone from the Revenge of the Sith.
Oh yeah, and then the Galactic Marines are just so.
And then the Galactic Marines look awesome. Yeah, I mean they're basically snowtroopers. Like they're clone snowtroopers is what they are, and that's awesome.
The Galactic Marines need to come with the right shoulder Gatling gun that they have in the Battlefront 2 from 2005 game. That just mows people down. It locks on, and it just shoots like crazy. That's
you want a gaming grades version.
We need a gaming grades version, so I shouldn't have put it on the list.
You ruined it.
I know, right? So yeah, Bakara, clone Marine.
There we go.
Now, there's Saesee Tiin with the horns, a green saber. That'd be a sick Jedi. Yep. That'd be a super awesome Jedi. And then we have the Kashyyyk Scout clone, the 41st Battalion. Is that right? I think that's right.
I think so. I love a Scout Trooper, like in general, but then you paint it camo. Like, why weren't they wearing this on Kashyyyk?
Slightly different green, and this is such a good look. Such a good look for clones. I play this one in Battlefront all the time. It's so good. Well, at least on the Kashyyyk planet. But yeah, that's all the cloners going to get mad at me if I think that's a 41st Legion.
Why didn't they wear those? Why didn't they wear that on Endor? Like, why wasn't the Empire like, wait a minute.
Oh, right. Yeah, let's get
some camouflage on here. There's white.
I'm sure if they do a video game, they'll have a Legion wearing
probably
stormtroopers wearing camo in the next Jedi Survivor or Jedi whatever game. I'm sure it's going to happen sooner or later. And then I specifically picked this picture because it's from a deleted scene in Revenge of the Sith. Yes. And I know we could have put Shaak Ti in Attack of the Clones and bumped one of those ones out, but I thought this was funnier. So
that's actually why I put her in Revenge of the Sith when I made my list. Was like, I know she dies in a deleted scene, and I don't think she's in the movie outside of that, honestly.
Yeah, I don't really think she is either, but I mean, it's an episode. It's a prequel Jedi. You got to put it somewhere, and I wanted this picture on the list because it's funny. So,
yeah, but I feel so bad for Shaak Ti because since this was a deleted scene, it's not canon that she dies here. But I think in different media, like she died in the Force Unleashed game.
Yep, Scar Killer.
And then I think she died one other time in something else because that wasn't canon either. So there's like 2 or 3 solid non-canon deaths. she's the Kenny of Star Wars. Like, oh my god, you killed Shaak Ti. It's wild.
Yeah, good old Shaak Ti. And then lastly, I am the Senate. Chancellor Palpatine during his Mace Windu battle, because this one you can put the lightsaber away and you can use it as just a political Palpatine, or you can pull out that saber and have him battle in Mace pre-face disfiguration.
And that's really what I wanted. Like, I feel like it's important to have, because you don't really see the disfigured Sidious or Palpatine until the very endish of Revenge of the Sith. Mm-hmm. So he goes 2 and like 3/4 of a movie looking like a normal dude, and it's hard to sell that as an action figure. Like, I remember in episode 1 when those toys came out, I got the Senator Palpatine action figure, and I'm just like, this is literally just an action figure of an old man. Like, why do I have this?
Might as well have gotten a Chancellor Valorum figure,
which I also had. Which again, it's just an action figure of an old white dude. Whereas at least this one, he did something in this outfit. Like, he had a full on lightsaber fight in this outfit.
Yep, absolutely. And then, as Pleto says in our chat, alt head for this Palpatine. Give it to us.
Why not?
Yeah, even if they don't want to.
Don't let him kill me.
Yeah, they already set the standard for Palpatine figures.
Yep.
Give him lightning hands.
Yep.
Because we know they have the mold. Just do those same lightning hands on this Palpatine. And then, or at least make them interchangeable with the other ones.
As an in joke, they should make his lightsaber Anakin's, though.
Oh, is that because they were using that prop during the...
Yeah, because they reshot the scene, because originally Anakin was there in the room when the Jedi came to arrest him, and he grabbed Anakin's lightsaber to use instead of, he didn't have one of his own. He grabbed Anakin's, and there are scenes when you're watching the fight where it's clearly he's holding Anakin's lightsaber and not his lightsaber.
Yeah, it's like when General Grievous is fighting Dooku, and he's just got Anakin and Obi-Wan sabers in his pocket.
Yeah,
in his hands. Yeah, give us like extra saber.
Yeah,
give us alt head. Give us lightning hands. Go all in. And yeah, that's it. That's the last one. So I'm sure there's a lot that obviously we weren't able to chat about, but we tried to pick 10. That varied from would must get to a little bit of not.
Yeah, it's clear that as in the line as a whole, even now with prequels being kind of the focus of the year, the prequels are still underrepresented in the line, And I think it's definitely something like, even as a 42-year-old man who, I was in high school when the prequels came out, and I liked the prequels, but I didn't love them. And I definitely went through a sour phase with them. And I'm kind of on the other side of it now. I'm a little more level headed. Like, they're not my favorite things in the world, but I don't hate them. I'm not mad they exist. And I'm even to the point where, like, I want to see more of this stuff. I was glad when they made Jar Jar Binks in the line, honestly.
Yeah, and I'm going to share this. Wilbon sent me a picture, so I decided to Google it real quick. I forgot all about this. They could just, whenever they do a Revenge of the Sith throwback packaging, they could just redo this Palpatine and give him that blue saber, because he had it way back in the day.
Yep. Right there.
So obviously, like, whenever they were making the figures, they were looking at the the footage that was currently out there, and he had the blue, and then they changed it later on to the red. So yeah, that's neat little. That'd be a little Easter egg they could throw in the Black Series. That'd be cool.
It'd just be fun. Or you could just give him,
or you could give it
Anakin's lightsaber and put a red blade on it. But like, it would be cooler if it came with it. But yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Wilbon says, what if ICC Con 2025 is in May again, with this returning to theaters in the same month? Ooh, if they did Revenge of the Sith in theaters during ICC Con, we'd have the whole
We'd have to
group
go.
going. Like,
we'd have to go.
Yeah.
We'd all have to go. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody'd be in there. And we'd be cheering, crying when Anakin turns. Don't turn, Anakin. Because you gotta hope. There's always that hope when you're watching it that you're gonna go to all
that this time. It changes.
He doesn't cut Mace's hand, and then he just lives happily ever after with, Padme, Luke, and Leia. And and then the original trilogy wouldn't exist, and then sequel trilogy, and then all that, and the story ends with episode 1, 2, and 3.
That's it. That's the whole story.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
OT gets erased from the timeline.
I love those videos where it's like something small changes in Star Wars, and it just pops up. They're written by George Lucas, and the ending credits, like, they're so good. Like, those are always really funny. All right, transitioning from prequel figure chat to spoilers for Tales of the Empire.
You've had a couple weeks. Yeah,
you've had time by now. So, and it's only, what, 6 episodes? It's 3 each. Is that right?
Yeah, and they're only like 12 to 16 minutes a piece. Like, they are not long. I think it's 2 hours to watch the whole thing, which,
if that,
brings me to my first kind of complaint is, why didn't they just make it 2 longer episodes?
Yeah, it's weird that they want to do these in little short. I get Morgan's, because there was 3 separate periods of time.
But I feel like the second 2 could have been easily just the same episode of a story or something.
Yeah, but they could have easily just included the time jumps in the episode.
Yeah,
it's weird that they stick into this 6 episode thing with multiple arcs or whatever. And like, I get why they want to add backstory to these characters. Specifically Morgan, since she's currently in new media right now.
Sure.
So I get wanting her backstory. But my complaint about Tales of the Empire is, like, Barris's story, she had an ambiguous ending, and then they do a story about her, and then they leave her ending ambiguous. It's like, can we just have, like, a finality to this character? If you're going to make a show about her, or make her the main arc of a show we only get once a year. Yep. These stories are meant for backstory. Like, they're not meant to have big implications.
No, they're meant to flesh weird stuff out.
Yeah, but you left it open and ambiguous. That was kind of annoying to me.
I agree. And I'm going to preface this by saying, overall, it was fine. It's not my favorite Star Wars thing to ever be made. I liked parts of it a lot more than I liked other parts. I do wish it were better. And I think the main problem I have with it is I don't think it should have been named Tales of the Empire. That's what I thought. It seems like
they did the Luminar, or I keep saying Luminar. They did the Barris stuff, and they called it Tales of the Jedi Season 2. And then they were like, well, let's do a Morgan arc, and then we can just call it Tales of the Empire. It didn't really seem, this didn't feel like Tales of the Empire. It felt like.
No, and part of the problem with, especially.
Tales.
Yeah. And especially with the Morgan episodes, the first one before the Empire, the first one was during Clone Wars. The second one was solidly in the Empire. The third one had New Republic troops in it, so it was after the fall of the Empire. So only a third of those episodes took place with in a way they were all kind of about the Empire in the sense that she was part of it, but like they weren't about the Empire. They were not about the Empire. Like the Empire was in it a little bit in some way.
It was really just Thrawn and her presenting to the board
and
her idea for the Defenders.
She invented the TIE Defender.
Yeah, that's kind of random.
Yeah,
it's just like the episodes are good.
Yeah,
like they were good. They were a fun watch.
Yep.
They don't have hardly any implications on the overall story.
It seemed like it just wanted to get you to Mandalorian season 2. Like it wanted to fill that gap from this is how she started to this is how she got to where you saw her in Mandalorian season 2, which is fine. I just feel like kind of what you said, like we only get this show once a year. And you're just filling in gaps that don't need to be filled in. No one's clamoring to know where Morgan Elsbeth came from. I fully understood from watching Ahsoka. Like, I didn't know in The Mandalorian, like, I didn't know who she was or why she was. But from what we saw in Ahsoka, like, I fully understood her story. She was a Sith witch or whatever. She was the
Night Witch,
Night Sister. And, you know, she's serving the Empire somehow, and she's got stuff going on, and then she dies. Like, that's all I needed to know. I didn't need to know anything more about her.
Yeah, they could have. I mean, this just seems like they were like, all right, let's find something for Star Wars fans to look forward to and watch on May the 4th.
Yeah.
And then it's just kind of inconsequential. These stories were.
I didn't really like the second and third episode of hers. I did like seeing Rook and of Morgan's, and I did like seeing Rook, and I loved Thrawn, and seeing Palaeon was cool. But I did like the first episode a lot. Again, it didn't really feel like it should be in a show called Tales of the Empire, but I liked the episode an awful lot. Like it was a good start. I think it's cool that they kind of introduced like the mountain clan of the witches, where it's kind of like if the Night Sisters were Sith kind of adjacent, these witches are like Jedi adjacent, or like light side of the Force adjacent, where they're more about kind of pacifist or whatever, and they use more healing and shielding stuff.
Yeah.
I wanted to know more about them. I want to know a lot more about them, because I think that is a cool idea they could expand on, but they didn't.
Yeah, I didn't mind the second 2 episodes. I liked how she burned the forest, because whenever we meet it, we go to that planet.
Why? Yeah, that's the only reason they did it, though, isn't it? Like, why would she burn the forest? Like,
well, I think it was to keep her villagers in fear, because she says a line when she says it, because she stomps on his call for help, and then she burns the forest, and so it's just like keeping fear will keep the galaxy in line type thing.
I guess it just seemed like they did it because all the trees in season 2 of Mando were burnt, so they had to show why or how they got that way.
Yeah,
like it just, and then again, that's just how I felt about her story. Was like it had a cool start, and they're like, well, we have to connect this to this, and we're just going to show you 2 episodes that kind of do that. Yeah, which I kind of
inconsequential.
It is. That's the thing is it's inconsequential.
Yeah, and random backstory that we didn't really need.
I wanted to know more about her. I just wanted to care more about it when they showed us, I guess. Like, I want to care about her. And I do, from what we got in Ahsoka. Like, I thought that was great. I like her character.
So what about the Barris arc? How do you like that?
Well, firstly, when Vader was on screen, I just want to say, I thought that was real. I thought that was real. Like the animation in this was really good. Really good.
The close up on his helmet looked like it was pulled straight from the Kenobi series.
Yes, it was so good. I really liked it. It didn't go at all how I expected, I'll be honest, because like we all just assumed that Barriss would turn into an Inquisitor, which she did, and that like that's just she would go from there like all the other Inquisitors. So I did not expect to leave Tales of the Empire being a Barriss fan, like being like, oh yeah, Barriss is cool. Like, I did like her. I like her. I like that she kind of saw through what the Empire was doing. I like that they kind of got her a little bit to indoctrinate her, but then she was like, you know what? This is kind of messed up. Why are we doing this? Like,
yeah, I liked her story. It was
it was a good story. I would have.
One thing I say, I was a little bummed that the only Vader we got, was what we saw in the teasers.
Yes,
that was a little disappointing, honestly.
Yeah, I thought there were so many things from the teasers, and I wanted them to expand on. I feel like the stories were too spread apart. Like that last episode was something that we could have gotten sometime way later. Again, not really a tale from the Empire. Like I want to know, like Marok was there, that the Inquisitor that Ahsoka kills in her episode of Tales of the Jedi was there. I wanted to know more about them. like they're there. Just give me something. But one of my biggest pet peeves is like Lynn, or the fourth sister, was there. We never found out what sister number Barriss was, and weirdly enough, that was one of the things I was looking forward to the most when I saw. I'm like, oh man, we're gonna find. Was she like the original second sister? Because I just assume that like when one dies, they get another one. They kind of, it's like a call sign more than anything.
I kind of thought it was like in order of when you join it. Maybe that's
or maybe it keeps going. Like, is she like the 12th sister?
I would think she'd be like the 5th or the 6th or the
what's the 5th brother. So Reva's third sister. So
because I don't get it. Why was the 4th sister there when Reva was? So I guess it maybe is a call sign because Reva wasn't there.
Was she the original third sister? Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of. But yeah, that makes it's kind of weird the way they did it. And I was hoping Vader would address the Inquisitors at least,
or address the fact that Barriss Offee is there.
That's what I'm saying. And or like, I was kind of hoping he would maybe kill her as a little bit of revenge, but who knows?
I think it would say more that if he didn't kill her, to acknowledge like they're on the same side now or whatever, because like he's evil now too.
Oh yeah,
he's not Anakin Skywalker anymore. He is Darth Vader. And maybe that's why they didn't say anything, because like he isn't that same person. But I would have liked some kind of acknowledgement. And I guess my problem with it as a whole is I didn't get enough from it because everything was so short. There were only 3 episodes of her story. None of them were longer than like 15 minutes. And I just really wanted more. And we don't know like when we're gonna get more.
Yeah, I don't think we are, because it seems like next year we'll probably have a Tales of the
something else, Tales of the New Republic, Tales of the Sith,
Bounty Hunters,
yeah, Tales of the Bounty Hunters.
But it needs to be something a little more consequential to have an impact and to be memorable. Because
I liked what they were going for with Barriss. I just feel like the last episode. While I liked the episode, in context between what I thought the show was going to be about. I wish it was a little bit more focused on the Empire.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, I think Tales of the Empire is a good watch. That was a letdown overall.
Yeah.
And the thing that bothers me the most is, like, I'm fine with the Morgan stuff. Like, sure, they wanted to do backstory. Like, sure, whatever. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, I don't care about it, but it was a halfway decent watch. But the Barriss stuff, the ending left her story open and ambiguous. And I was like,
did she die? Didn't she die? That's the same questions I had when I came into this.
Like this is the moment we're finally getting a story. Her ending
I wanted
was left
definitive
open
ending.
before.
Yeah.
Don't leave us hanging again. Now we have to wait for the next, the next show or the next book or comic that I'm not going to read, or video game she pops up in, or, But I mean, it was fine. It was okay. It was a letdown. I was hyped for Tales of the Empire.
Same.
But, it is.
There's an old adage in like show business and stuff is always leave them wanting more. But I feel like there is a fine line between like
satisfaction.
Yeah, like you can satisfy me and leave me wanting more because it was so good, or you can titillate me with it's what it's like. It's like when you're watching like a TikTok or something, and they're like, watch all the way to the end to see how it ends, and then it ends, and you don't actually see the resolution. It's like
they don't show anything.
They don't show anything, and you're like, what? I didn't get anything out of that. It's like the blue balls of entertainment.
Mm-hmm. It's like those people on TikTok Live. They're like, I'm gonna pop the balloon now. I'm gonna.
Yeah, and they never do. Or like I'm gonna be pumping. Yeah, I'm gonna be pumping the mattress up,
and then they get 100 more likes. They're like, oh, we get 50 more likes, so we're gonna do it. And they just
and they never do. And they never do. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Tales of the Jedi was so good. It was satisfying. It left us wanting more.
Yes,
it
agreed.
Had beginning, middle, end on their stories.
I really like
Tales of the Jedi.
The way they told Tales of the Jedi a little bit better too. Whereas like these were like 2 stories with 3 episodes each, but it was more structured, laid out. Whereas I like the hodgepodge of Tales of the Jedi, where you got a little sprinkling. Like if you watch it all the way through, you're not watching all of Ahsoka's story, all of Qui-Gon or Dooku's stories or whatever. Like it's all kind of sprinkled in, and it's more entertaining that way. But Wilbon's absolutely right. X-Men 97 is the perfect example of what I'm talking about, where it ended. I loved it, but I want more. But I'm still satisfied with what I got.
Yep. And also Tales of the Jedi had characters we probably care about a little more. Like we got to see, we haven't seen anything from Qui-Gon other than Phantom Menace, so we got to see more Qui-Gon. We got to see more Count
Yaddle.
We got Yaddle battling Count Dooku in front of Darth Sidious.
Great. We finally found out why she wasn't in Attack of the Clones.
She got killed.
She got
axed.
Whoa,
and then the Ahsoka story was good, and
it was cool that they made it part of like Dooku's kind of finalizing him being like a Sith apprentice. Was him killing Yaddle in that scene.
Yep. So that's probably somebody he's had dinner and lunch with,
right?
The Jedi Order for years,
right?
They
were friends. Yeah. Or at least
coworkers.
Yeah.
Acquaintances. Something. But yeah, Tales of the Empire, 4.5 out of 4.5 seems tough. 5.5 out of 10. Tales of the Jedi last year, 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I like doing things out of 5.
That's gonna seem worse.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna give it probably a 3 out of 5. So like a 6 out of 10. Like I was entertained. It was gorgeous, and there were parts of it I liked. And like I'm not mad they did a story on Morgan Elsbeth. I'm not mad they did a story on Barriss. In fact, I love that they did a story on Barriss. Like that was something that we've been waiting for to find out what happened. It's just that didn't go any. I feel like neither of them went anywhere. Like what was the point of watching those? What did I get out of watching those? And I honestly can't.
Inconsequential.
I can't tell you. Yeah, I can't tell you that I left knowing something more than I went in with, other than some filler stuff.
Yeah, Barriss is an Inquisitor. Yeah. She left the Inquisitor, but now we don't know what happened to her.
Yeah, so I think it's cool that she decided to just be a Jedi and help people escape the Empire. But then what?
Mm-hmm. And also I'll say it from an action figure perspective. Give me a Barriss figure from Clone Wars, and give me a Barriss figure from the Inquisitor. It's I
would love an Inquisitor Barriss. Love.
But other than that, for these episodes,
I wouldn't mind a Night
Rook.
Sister Morgan Elsbeth with her little like sickle things.
Yeah, I mean that'd be neat.
It'd be
Rook
neat.
from
Yeah, I mean the Rook would be cool for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. What's his name? The Imperial officer under Theron.
Officer Leon.
Panera. Officer Panera. Officer Panera bread.
That's it.
that
Officer Panera. He's gonna give you the Chimera Imperial Star Destroyer, and then also a cup of soup and half a sandwich for only $5.99.
Yep. You know, whenever I used to work at Ernst & Young, we had a Panera bread attached to the bottom of the office I worked in. So I bought a large soda cup one day, but every day on lunch I would just go fill it up.
You would just refill it up?
I would just, yeah.
What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do?
And I'd buy a new one like every other week.
Yeah.
You know, just to show up at the register a little bit so they don't think.
Yeah.
So it's not too obvious, but it was a good time. It's good days back then. All right, so I think that's going to do it for episode 71. Mike, do you have any last minute thoughts on these leaks or figures that you wanted to
Nah, man.
get out there before we wrap it up?
I feel like we had, like I said, we had a strong 2 weeks. There was so much stuff happening in the last 2 weeks that like it felt like a month just because of all the stuff that happened. So I'm looking forward to it. As the summer ramps up, we're going to be getting some cool figures. And I have made it my mission to review every Black Series figure I get this year, or at least do a video on it, like whether it's like an opening and just comparison or like a full-on review. So far, the only one I haven't done is this 3-pack, and I'm gonna get that done. So it's gonna be fun times. So check out my YouTube channel if you want to.
Yeah, so your socials are Mike Case, Trusty Sidekick. Mike Case pretty much everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Yep, you can follow me on Instagram. That's Black Series Cantina. And then follow me on TikTok. I'm almost at 20K. I think I'm at 19 and a half right now. So we're making the push to 20K
Close. Yeah.
on TikTok. That is at the Star Wars Black Series. That's the classic name that we're coming up on a year. I think July 3rd is the year anniversary that my Instagram got banned or whatever. So a couple months. For that, and then join our Facebook group, Black Series Cantina. It's a very chill group in there. And then join us on Patreon if you want to support the show financially. We would really greatly appreciate it. If you cannot support us financially, leave a review. That always helps. Send us an email, blackseriescantina@gmail.com, if you want your email read on the show. And then also, speaking of Patreon, before I move on from that, we have a VIP spot open, so remember that if you want to jump up to that VIP spot and join us on the Hangouts. We have our VIP Hangout this Saturday night, and then we got to plan our next Wilbon's Cantina because he's our deluxe VIP. He gets his own show, which is very cool. If you want to support us in a different way, we have merch. You can buy a t-shirt or a mug or a pint glass or anything with our logo on it on the Teespring store. There's links in the podcast below, and then on our Patreon page, or you can go to my Instagram and go through the link tree that is posted there to find it. Follow us on Twitter at TBS Cantina. Join the Facebook group, like I mentioned. Email us blackseriescantina@gmail.com. And we'll be back in 2 weeks for episode 72. And I believe we're having a guest. Is that right, Mike?
We should. I haven't nailed it down, but we should.
All right, so we're working on a guest for the next podcast, so we will see you then. Everybody have a great time collecting Black Series.
Bye.